Let's do this. All right, so it was like totally the third round of this party, and it was absolutely rad. Goddess, you totally would have loved it. The girls got together and we cleaned out the casino. I think the dealer was on drugs, but whatever. Ellie was totally lucky, and Malin just loves drinking. The band kicked ass. They made like so much money. Like they just kept giving us money. It was amazing. Maddie totally got ported to another world. He stole some artwork. Oh, but he did tell us about Drew's BFF. Drew was being all shy about it, but apparently they posed for a painting together. It said BFFs and everything. But I guess his BFF also has paintings of all of us, except for me, like whatever that is. But we learned. Oh, Drew also has a boyfriend, and he's a sailor or a champion or something. He beat up Drew while he was a bear, I guess. Oh yeah, and Drew's BFF, a creepy little gnome dude. We hunted him down. Everyone to each their own. I totally respect everyone's decisions in this group. Uh, my BFF Hazel would love all of the cursed hostile energy we have going on. She loves the drama. Oh, speaking of drama, something about magic or some bullshit about us being better than everyone else at the party got us kicked out. And oh yeah, Morn snuck off and is totally a glass statue at the bottom of the sea because, it looks good. Maybe if he wasn't actually dead, it wouldn't be a problem. Argus got his freedom or something. It was shiny. It was a cube. My goddess likes diamonds. We need to examine Smalls for his blessing. Drew snuck off to meet up with his boyfriend. I don't think I've forgotten anything, but you guys were totally there, so you know what's up. What I got.
Bravo!
Yay!
I like it.
I really like that.
All right. Inspiration to Quinn? All right.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm finishing the cookie here. But remember, guys, the new inspiration adjustments are in effect. So basically, if you roll a nat 1 or a nat 20 during the session, you get inspiration to use after that roll. You can't use it on the same one that you earned it on. But at the end of the session, if it's not a combat, that inspiration goes away. So, if you get it, remember to try to use it, okay, before the end of the session. That still copacetic makes sense to everybody?
Aye, aye.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cool. All right. Is there anything anybody wanted to add detail-wise or anything that didn't get brought up in recap that we want to make sure everybody is fully aware of before we dive back into this thing?
I am absolutely dead.
For all intents and purposes, yes. Monroe is no longer with us. The group is fully unaware of this, regardless of the recap. Okay? Monroe snuck away, was on his own. Whatever happened, you guys are, for as far as you know, Monroe is just missing. But above the table, Monroe is no longer with us. So, anything else?
And may the 4th be with you.
Yes, and may the 4th be with all of us.
Forthing it upon me.
All right. Kick this off. Morning after the party, Drew. You awaken in the captain's cabin of the Leviathan, fully in your humanoid form, no longer a bear. Your bear form was broke, as promised. You have not been able to transform back. But you awaken back in the captain's cabin, splayed out on the bed, slept wonderfully. You look around and definitely notice that there, regardless of your claim of no longer drinking, there are about 3 or 4 more bottles of some kind of fine red that has been pulled off that shelf at some point throughout the night that you and Malik together probably polished off at some point. Clothes are everywhere. You are alone in the room, though. What are you doing?
Sorry. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna kind of look at my party clothes, and then I'm going to see if I can find a pair of Mal's pants to put on. They'll be a little short, but it'll be better under the dress than just.
Sure.
us.
Roll me an investigation real quick. Something's popping in the background of somebody's deal, by the way. Does anybody else hear that?
That's a 1.
A 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely don't find any pants. You are, kind of going through drawers and stuff like that. You're finding lots and lots of things that are not pants, but you are having a hell of a time finding anything that is pants. On a 1? Yeah. Sorry, you are kind of stuck with the clothes that you are at.
Cool.
Anything else?
No, I'll put my clothes back on and head out.
Just as you're getting dressed, Malik actually comes back into the captain's cabin. He's not quite fully dressed yet. He kind of looks like he got kind of put together in a hurry. He's got half of his stuff on. But he comes back in and just kind of gives you a little nod of acknowledgement as you're getting dressed, and he immediately goes over to his main desk there in his captain's cabin and begins poring over a couple maps and a couple of things.
I'm gonna go over and look at the map.
Basically, it looks like right now he's kind of charting his course back through the northern waters up to the free city of Aquarius. Basically, it looks like he's trying to, just from what you know of, looking at this, it looks like he's basically plotting his course back home. He's leaving.
Mhm.
Allie, I think the popping is coming from.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not using my regular headphones, so I'm not sure why that is happening.
Yeah, here, turn. Hold on. Use this for them. How do I?
I'm gonna turn that off for you.
Technical difficulties.
And then I'm gonna get you new ones. There's another set.
Okay.
That's better.
Okay, wait. Sorry. I had to mute my iPad. Oh my god, hold on. It's not muted.
Woo! That's freaky.
It kept turning its own volume back on.
Okay, that's better.
Okay. Hold on. Why is my volume not all the way off? I'm just gonna leave the call. Okay. So, can you guys still hear me? I don't have any visuals for what sound I'm making.
Oh, that sounds good.
Okay, so
It's gonna play off of Lindsay's screen for right now.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
yeah. So I'll look in the map. So you're headed back home, huh?
Well, if you got yourself up at a decent hour, you'd see that things are a little interesting outside, huh? Streets are filling with guards. You might probably want to get out of here, go find your crew, and be doing the same thing, huh?
Did something happen?
Apparently, there's somebody out on deck who wants to talk to you. He just finished up with me. Says he knows you. So, seems copacetic enough.
Okay.
Hey, before you go, remember something you said last night? Between all the moans and screams. Here, Northern Marsenstein, there's a place here. You were mentioning something about looking for a king, no?
Yeah.
As I said, I was the king for the night, but given the mystery behind whatever the fuck you're doing, you might want to try this. This is a place called the King's Fall. It's in, like I said, it's a graveyard, so to speak. Northern Marsenstein. Too far inland, no rivers are thought enough to ever sail into it anyways. Never been there myself, never had a reason to, but closest thing to I can imagine that you're looking for in terms of a king, with the vague description that you gave me.
Yeah, I wish I could be more specific, but
Well, like I said, it's a giant graveyard. It's you mentioned that you got the information in a tomb and you were stabbed by a ghost, no? Something like that?
would you have a...
And he cut out.
Oh, it actually had them leave the call.
Yep. Okay. Are we back?
So?
Are we there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay.
Stop fidgeting and.
I didn't do anything.
All right. No, it's you mentioned that you found the information in a tomb and got stabbed by a ghost. No, something
Yeah.
along that.
Yeah.
Well, this place is said to draw death, so that's what you're looking for. It's about the closest thing I can think of.
Thank you.
Off the top of your head, Drew, you remembered that Smalls is actually from Marsenstein, and the little that you guys know of Smalls' background, he was Marsenstein military. He would probably know more about this place than anybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, streets are filling with guards. Whatever is happening, you want to be ahead of it. So, I suggest you find your people and get the fuck out. Unless you want to stay here under lockdown.
I probably shouldn't. They might get worried about me.
Exactly. You have your own people. You have your own people now, baby bear. Last night was fun. But get back to them, huh?
Hey, if we had done that sooner, would you have kept me around?
You don't belong on this ship. So no.
God, I was hoping you weren't going to say that again, but
This isn't your place. You're not going to
I
find
know.
you're not going to find what you're looking for here. What you're really looking for here.
you know, it's really annoying when you're right.
I'm right most of the time.
I know. Hey, when you get back to Aquarius, if you make your way to Madame Trish's, could you say hi to them for me?
I'm pretty sure they keep your cot open, by the way. Yes, I will say something.
Thank you.
I get shore leave here. My men don't get shore leave until we get back home. So, we'll be at Madame Trish's eventually.
Good. Well, send them all my love.
I'll pass it along.
Thanks.
You're dawdling. Get your clothes. Get going.
Fine. You're kicking me out so soon.
I have places to be, and it's not here under military lockdown.
You're always so busy.
And you're always so stalling.
Drew's gonna put a hand out to kind of pat him on the shoulder, and then they're gonna pull their hand away and run it through their own hair, and turn to walk away.
As soon as you turn around, he grabs you by the back of your hair and immediately pulls your head and plants another one on you, and then kind of not violently, but kind of shoves you away. No, you don't get one up on him.
Okay. Drew is going to maintain their composure and not giggle. But he's gonna kind of wave and walk out, I guess, to find whoever wants to talk to them.
As you leave the captain's cabin, you make your way up the steps to the main deck. You take a look around. The crew is hastily, fastening lines, setting down sails. They are quickly assembling everything to leave. They're done here. You get the impression that they are going to be leaving extremely soon or as quickly as possible. But on the deck, you also notice a familiar face. And it's that impeccably dressed, but average-looking everything individual with the extremely piercing blue eyes that you met some weeks ago. Who questioned you as you came out of Slevin's Manor. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He approaches you. Mr. Iddick.
I don't think I caught your name last time.
You can call me Tim.
Okay.
Well, I was
Yeah.
here to talk to Captain Malik, and by certain luck, you're one of the next ones on my list to talk to, along with the rest of your compatriots. I assume that they are not here on board this vessel.
They are not.
Would you mind telling me where they are and then leading me there so we can have a conversation?
Yeah, we're our boss has a warehouse not too
Your
far
boss.
from here.
And who is your employer?
Their brothers, Angus and Angus.
I understand. Lead the way, Mr. Iddick.
All right. Are we gonna walk and talk, or do you want to talk to everybody together?
I can answer a few questions, but in terms of what the matter of the inquiries that I have will be for the entire group.
Yeah. So I'll start leading him over that way. It's not too far, right? You said it was fairly close.
You're still in the Opus district. You're just in the
Mhm.
docks, and you're leading him back to Angus and Angus's warehouse. Maybe an hour, give or take. If you walk
Oh.
briskly.
Okay.
Is there anything you wanted to talk to him about on the way over?
Yeah. Did you ever make it into Slevin's Manor?
I have not had the pleasure of the occupant's company yet. No.
That's probably better for you. He's a real joy to be around.
I heard differently, but yes,
Why
I
do you-
am.
Why do you want in there anyway?
Mr. Iddick, what do you know about that location? We talked briefly about it last time. I believe I filled you in a few details, but it seems you are still mostly in the dark.
Yeah, that's a story I'm alive currently. I don't know much about anything. I have specific things I need to find out about, and asking other questions steers me off track.
Well, it's not exactly my place to spill all the beans about that location.
Why not?
It's part of an ongoing investigation.
Oh, fine.
Let's just say that the property has been quite vacant for a number of decades, to say the least.
Yeah.
A single caretaker has been seen here and there on the property. from
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah, I'm
Along
pretty
with a
sure
number-
that gnome tore my finger off. Did I tell you the whole story?
No, but I see you're still in the habit of interrupting people.
Yeah. Sorry.
You continue to walk and talk as you make your way back to the warehouse.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell him the whole story about Morin finding the ring and all of that.
How honest of you.
Yeah, why not?
And we're going to shift back over to the warehouse. Everybody else, minus Drew and minus Monroe, of course, awakens the next morning in Angus and Angus's warehouse. Many of you were hungover from the over-imbibement of fruity and glittery drinks. Most of you are feeling, the rest of you are feeling relatively fine. But you awaken, and the day is yours. What are you guys doing? Anything you guys want to finalize? What do you want to do?
I guess
Okay.
Ellie kind of wants to talk about what happened with Marceline. Excuse me. Quinn, are you up?
Getting there.
Hmm. So do you think that was kind of odd, the way Marceline acted when I asked her questions? Or was it rude to me? I don't know. I'm not used to this place.
I'm not sure. She seemed perfectly fine with me. She seemed a little annoyed at the end, but I wasn't sure what was going on. I got all the answers that I needed. So
Yeah, she just didn't want to talk to me. I, I mean, where I'm from, it's like we just talk like that. Ask people, who's your teacher? Kind of like, who's your mom? Who's your dad? Who's your brother and sister? But man, when I asked that question, she got really uptight.
yeah,
But go ahead.
I don't know. Some people just don't like questions being asked. But I think she was just really busy, so I just don't think it was the time for the question.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I really wasn't trying to push anything. I was just asking questions. And yeah,
I'm
I
sure
don't
if we
know.
hang out on, I'm sure if we hang out enough, we'll totally find the truth. She doesn't seem like somebody who's gonna just disappear.
Hmm. True. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. That was just what was on my mind from the party.
Ugh, oh, my head hurts. Oh, Marshall, did we get a long rest?
Yes, everybody got a long rest that night.
Okay.
I'm hesitant to give it to Drew, but it's fine.
Um, I hate to run, but there's totally something I need to take care of.
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna like ruffle and grab a bunch of my things real quick. Gonna run over to wherever Malin and Maddie are because I'm sure they're somewhere together. I'm going
By
to.
the way, it was fun. I really had fun with you,
It
hanging
was
out with you.
it was an absolute blast. I'm totally glad we got that drink together.
Yeah, yeah, me too. All right, talk to you later.
I'll see you around.
All right, I'm here.
Quinn's gonna run over to Malin and Maddie. She's going to give a bag to Malin and be like, "Babe, totally hold on to this for me. Like it should be fine, but just in case, I need somebody I can trust to hold on to this."
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, and then I am totally stealing your boyfriend for the day. We're not going anywhere, right? It's not important today.
Uh, Not that I know of. We're just gonna be gathering supplies to head out soon.
Perfect. Okay, then I am totally stealing this guy over here. Just make sure Smalls doesn't get into trouble. We'll trade for the day.
Okay, trading boyfriends, sure.
Don't say it like that. Me and Smalls totally aren't together.
Sure, we won't start that conversation again.
Everyone just makes so many assumptions. uh, so Quinn is going to drag Maddie in whatever state he is out the door of the warehouse pretty early in the day.
Maddie tries to look in the bag as he's getting pulled away to see what's in there.
Ooh, oh, that'll be fun. Let's roll on that.
It'll be sleight of hand versus. It'll be Maddie's sleight of hand versus Quinn's perception.
All right.
Or vice versa, because I'm trying to see it, so I'm perception, right?
Technically, you're trying to sneak a look into it, so I would say it's sleight of hand versus perception.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
14. So
17.
I do not see.
Do not. I will give you a small hint though, because it wasn't too terribly far. You hear it jingle.
Interesting. Maddie gets pulled away unwillingly, but he goes with it anyway.
All right. You guys head outside?
Yeah, we're gonna head outside.
Okay. Just real quick, is there anybody else in the warehouse that's doing anything? Smalls, Argus?
I'll probably let Smalls know that Quinn was leaving with Maddie.
Okay.
Just in case she didn't tell him. That way he doesn't freak out about it.
Got you.
Hey, sorry, I have to keep resetting my app so that way it'll work. Smalls is just gonna kind of look at Quinn and Maddie curiously, and look over at Malin curiously, and just kind of sit there.
I
What?
I have no idea. My assumption is that she's going to try to talk to him about something and doesn't want me to know.
Oh. Well,
I
at
don't
least
know.
you can protect her.
Yeah. Well,
She has a
good luck to
tendency to
him.
get into trouble.
Sounds like somebody else we know. And I'm going
Also-
to pointedly look at the cursed axe in your hand.
Smalls is just going to give a shit-eating grin.
We should probably come up with a plan for the day. Whenever Morn and Drew get back from wherever they're at.
Real quick, above the table, real quick. Remind me, we're all in agreement we're going to Marzenstein next?
Yes, that is the next
Yeah.
arc you guys need to complete.
Thank you. Appreciate that recap. All right, back in character. We should also make sure that everybody has warm clothes.
Right. I believe we did commission those from the same guy who made our outfits for yesterday.
Oh, that's good.
And I know we already got rations, and I believe I handed all of those out to everybody already.
I believe they're still in your inventory, Malin, above the table. Like you have like
Mm.
300 pounds in your character, so you still need to divvy those up. But we can deal with that here in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as long as we have enough food and enough warm clothes for all of us, we should be okay.
Yeah. Do you
Smalls is
think?
back just kind of resting.
Mm. I'm
Huh?
gonna like start saying something and then pause and be like, "Oh, never mind. You probably wouldn't care anyways."
What is it?
I was just gonna ask if you think it's gonna be. Well, I don't know exactly how cold feels, and I don't know how to word that.
Hmm.
Because, like, like certain. I mean, like, just in nature in general, I know there are a lot of species that don't do too well in cold. I've never really. Where I'm from, it tends to be a bit more humid.
Yes. Have you ever held ice in your hand? Or held ice and felt it
I mean,
against
like,
your skin?
I've had like cold drinks
Mm.
with ice in them, but I've never like held ice in my hand.
I want
I
you
don't
to
know. It's
think
just
of
something.
the coldest drink you've ever held. The kind
Okay.
where it you can feel it radiating out of the cup.
Okay.
Now imagine you're the cup.
Oh,
That's the
okay. I'm
cold.
not 100% sure I can still conceptualize it. I might need a second coat though, just in case.
Probably not a bad idea.
Hmm. I'm
I
gonna double
have
check that I split those rations and then possibly go get myself a second one.
again why I've reiterated that we need to make sure we have warm clothes. I will be
Mhm.
fine. I was born in this. I'm used to it. I actually get uncomfortable in the heat. But
Mm.
most of you are not going to enjoy this.
Right. Do you think it'll be difficult for you going home?
Smalls is just going to kind of look at Malin. You can tell that there's a thought going across his head that he's not quite sure he wants to share. He's going to look back at her and continue looking at her. You should see about that coat. And just
Right.
kind of lean back against the wall and close his eyes.
I apologize. And then I'll walk away to go double check my supplies.
Nice. Anybody else on the inside of the warehouse? Okay. Maddie, Quinn, you guys approach the doors of the warehouse and you throw them open. You are immediately met with a large crowd that seems to have gathered around the large poplar tree that is at the center of this kind of like this area of the Opus district. There's, like you said, there was a large tree that Xena came through. You know, it's a large centerpiece here at this juncture of all these warehouses and businesses and manufacturers. There is a large group gathered around what seems to be somebody on a soapbox or like a box stand and is shouting from it. And you also take note that there are dozens upon dozens of soldiers moving through the crowd, moving through each of the streets, about the half dozen different directions you guys can go. Just flooded with people and military. And all of you, even the ones inside of the warehouse, as soon as you throw open the doors, it's surprising how much sound these doors block out. But you all hear somebody shouting from the crowd, "Murder! Murder the Capitol!" Is everybody awake at this point?
Yeah, Ellie's gonna run towards the door to listen.
Is everybody kind of like alert to this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the thing,
Maddie.
but generally disinterested.
I got you. You could hear from here at least the main points here, I would say. But Maddie, Quinn, as you make your way out, like I said, there are dozens and dozens of patrols that are moving throughout every street. You can't really turn in any direction without seeing almost as many guards as you can people, which is impressive to say the least. Yet something else sticks out now amongst these guards. Mixed in with them now are these massive, heavily armored individual soldiers. Like, they are at least 2-3 feet taller than the average, and it's like but they're not as populous. Like one out of every 20 soldiers or so, or 30 soldiers you see of regular military, you'll see one of these guys. But they stick out massively, and they are sporting these two-handed swords and axes alongside these massive tower shields together. Ellie, you said you ran to the door, right?
Yeah, just to the door frame.
You easily recognize these soldiers. These are Inquisition Templars
Oh shit.
that you know as the militant arm of the Trinity Church.
Yep.
The very kind that assists the Sylvanan military and Minister Maven back home in her war against your people, the Wildlings. These are church soldiers mixed in with the regular military.
Oh man. So Ellie's kind of slowly backs in towards the side of the door so she can hear and not be seen.
Okay. Keep yourself out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Maddie, Quinn, the rest of you Maddie, Quinn, you two get the best view or the best ear of everything that is being shouted here. But the local crier here is shouting to the group, and it seems to be telling about an event that happened, a murder that occurred in the Silva district, about an entire family, even their household guard and servants, all murdered in the night, along with a newborn child.
Wait.
A
Oh my
child
God.
born this very night, as the crier shouts out, born under the blessings of a crowned king, a child not even yet given a name. Do you get closer?
Yeah. I'm making sure I'm all covered up too. Just like all my wings and everything is settled in perfect.
Really good idea.
Upon
You
seeing the tower or the church militia going through, Quinn's going to take off her headband, and be like, "Fuck! I totally don't want to have to deal with this right now." Um,
Stay close. I don't want Smalls to kill me.
whatever. Just forget everything you knew about me, except for I'm fabulous and somebody totally helped me out last night.
All I know is you're one of us. So stick close.
Sounds good. I might not be too useful against these assholes.
We're trying to get closer to here and see what's going on a little bit better.
I am also going to stick relatively close to Maddie. If you pay any sort of attention, Quinn has like a massive brand in like on the center of her forehead, and she is very intentionally now having that brand on display.
Oh my gosh, Quinn. Shit.
Maddie, roll me a quick perception check. Since you're the one out there.
Man, I wish I was proficient in this. Let's see.
Be-
22.
22. You immediately clock that the brand on Quinn's head is the same as some of the markings on these Templar Knights.
Ooh. Okay.
But with that, just clock
Yeah.
that for later.
Got it.
The crier begins shouting out, "Good people! The noble family, de Samedi Rex. Drusilla Rex, sister of the Arl Dagny Rex of Opus Dei, and her recently married husband, the fine lord, our beloved Baron Paulo de Samedi, cousin to our magnificent and magnanimous Mercurio de Samedi of the legendary Crown Coterie, slain this very night, along with all of their household, including a child born this very night. The family's announcement of the birth was to publicly encourage celebration in the streets, not this terror and mourning." Several of you are reminded that children born specifically under a crowned king, you all remember like the history check that some of you did, like when when the egg of the king moon has this like celestial ring and halo around it. Any major event that takes place during that event is meant to be an incredible like boon, great omen. An extremely good omen. And not a single one of you, though, as you kind of think back and you're hearing this news, though, it's strange because the crier is talking about how the child was born, but not a single one of you remembers hearing publicly at the party that the baby was being born. You only heard it from somebody specifically. The crier continues. Bureau of Investigations say nothing was stolen from the family home. Nothing but lives. Innocent lives. No witnesses. But some in the neighborhood recall hearing strange tunes on the late night wind. Some say it was whistling. All of a sudden the locals around the crier begin to whisper and some of them shout, the guards should be investigating those freaks and heathens down at that god-accursed Steppentime circus. It was probably them. The crier continues. Our guards are baffled, embarrassed, and enraged at the incident, but they will not stop until the culprit is found and brought to justice. Look around. Look around at all the law and enforcement we can see around us. Do not be afraid. Assist our good military in their just endeavors. A massive reward is offered for any information leading to the murderer's apprehension, dead or alive. Basically, to sum up, you have overheard that the entire household after the party of the Sea of Flesh at the House of Polly has been slaughtered. Down to the last man and woman, and even newborn child of Princess Drusilla that very evening. Brew, you definitely overhear this because you and Agent Tim arrive around this time near the warehouse. And you immediately clock Maddie and Quinn standing amongst the crowd, trying to blend in as best as they can. But you easily clock them.
I'll make my way over to them.
It's up to you three.
Well, this totally seems like it's going to be a terrible time for all of us.
Drew, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Did you hear all that they just announced right now?
Yeah, I did. That's terrible.
Yeah, I think we should get back to the rest of the group. Who knows what they're going to be going after right now? Try and pin it on somebody.
Anyway, this is Tim. He's a detective. He has to question. He's questioning people about a case.
I'm an agent with the Bureau of Investigation.
Hey, yeah, sure.
Hmm.
Sorry for getting your title wrong, Tim.
Yes, you can all refer to me as Tim. I have some questions regarding your group's attendance at the party, now at the former House of Polly. Would you mind if we stepped off the street and talk somewhere more private?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll show him into the warehouse.
Okay.
When is
I'm going to follow back, actually, just to make sure everything's copacetic.
Quinn is also going to follow, but she is just going to give Maddie a look of, please don't say shit.
Maddie's going to nod his head like he knows what Quinn's talking about, but absolutely does not.
God, the new drum, Jesus.
Much to Quinn's dismay, Smalls notices the strange new guy walk in and immediately goes on guard.
All right, everyone, this is Jim. You got a few questions for us.
Smalls, you clock that this guy is completely unfazed by you and you going into your defensive mode.
Ellie walks back from the door just quietly towards the group.
As you guys come inside, you close the doors behind you, bolt them. It immediately gets as quiet in here as it was before you guys opened up everything. Like I said, it's surprising how much sound those doors actually block out. But Agent Tim walks forward and says, "Yes, you can all call me Tim. I am an agent with the Bureau of Investigations, and I have some questions regarding this group's attendance at a party at what is now the former House of Polly. Would you kindly all submit to a few questions?"
Yeah, we got nothing to hide.
Great.
Is it regarding what they just announced?
He doesn't specify. But at that, I need everybody here to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Oh, lordy. Okay.
So hang on a second. I'm going to make a list. What else we got?
Fuck.
This is gonna be. Oh boy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's everybody that's here. Yes. Okay. So we'll start at the top. Not in alphabetical order or anything. Maddie, what you get?
2.
Malin, what did you get?
17.
17. All right. Smalls, what'd you get?
Small's got a 15.
15, not too bad. Damn. For the guy with the low charisma.
And a
Drew, what'd you get?
-1. Yeah.
All right, at a -1. Drew, what'd you get?
A 4.
4. Okay. Quinn, what'd you get?
17.
7. Not too bad. Argus?
Would it be considered a spell or magical effect?
Yes.
For magic resistance purposes, I would get to roll it at advantage.
Fair enough.
That is a 21.
You go. Ellie, what'd you get?
I can't find my charisma.
It's like where your strength and dex and everything is on the first page. You're looking for a charisma saving throw. So just below that, you'll see your saving throws.
Yeah.
On the
I keep tapping it. It won't do anything.
Let's see here. You want me to just roll it for you real quick? You have a +7, so.
I do. Oh, there it went.
Oh, you got
It's
it?
11.
Well, I just rolled you a nat 20, so that's unfortunate.
Okay.
So we'll go with the 11. That's what you rolled.
That's what I rolled. Oops. Oh, I just did it.
How unfortunate. All right. You all kind of gather around, and like I said, he kind of takes a seat. He kind of grabs like just a random stool, and he kind of just takes a seat and sits there. His posture is extremely rigid, like he is straight backed, legs at 90-degree angles. This guy is extremely, for lack of a different description, he's extremely uptight. But you all take notice that, like I said, he is extremely normal in every regard. Normal height, normal weight, normal looks. He has just kind of like this ashen gray, dark brown hair. The only thing that really sticks out about this guy is his clothes. He's extremely like well appointed, like kind of it's a suit, so to speak, but it has like this open, kind of like an open thing going on with the chest. And he has extremely ridiculously blue eyes. I'll post something here in chat just so you guys have an idea of what he's looking like. Put a face to the guy who's going to be talking to you. Okay.
Eek.
All right. Well, this is more of a general inquiry for all of you. But I'm curious, how did a budding merc company, short of their rule of 3, by the way, acquire an invite to one of the richest and most influential nobles in the capital's select parties?
We saved Drusilla.
Do we still have the invite too, or do they take that away?
Actually, I think you actually turned it in when you had to go through the guards, so you would not have the invitation anymore.
Okay.
So who's speaking?
I was.
Okay. So what did you say?
We saved Drusilla on our way here. The first time we were coming this way.
You saved the princess, Drusilla. Would
Yes,
you care to
she was with
elaborate?
child. We were coming down the river on the splinters on my fingers, and we came across a wreckage caused by harpies. We found her servant. I don't remember his name anymore, but he told us that the harpies had taken her. So we went to save her, and we did. And then we brought her here.
I see.
The invitation was technically addressed to Chiron and the group. Chiron was an adventurer who was with us at the time, but has since passed away due to a training incident.
So the person that the invitation was for was technically dead. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
I see. Would you kindly tell me more about this? You said an assistant. Who did you learn about the harpy attack from?
I don't remember. He was a very strange-looking old man.
Higgins. or something
Yeah.
similar to
Yes,
that.
Higgins. hmm
Higgins.
He was supposed to be protecting her, and he told us that he instead hid when the heart and begged us to help her.
Cutting out pretty bad there, Malika.
Sorry. He practically begged us to help her because she was with child.
Let's see. I don't have anything here in my notes about anyone named Higgins. Would you kindly tell me what happened to Higgins?
Unfortunately, while we were gone, he fell off of the boat and landed into the Barracuda infested waters.
Roll me another charisma saving throw real quick.
Yep. 13.
I see. Okay, so you were all acquainted with the Princess Drusilla by means of your adventures.
Yes.
You were seen during the party, though, assisting with the bands. Would you kindly advise why?
Yes, the lead singer of that band actually approached us on recommendation from the guilds. I'm so bad with names today. But we were recommended to her by them, and we agreed.
Gunhilda?
Hilda. I'm sorry, who was this band that you were working for?
We were approached by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and on recommendation from Letty, who works the front desk at the guild.
Letty. Letty Crescente.
Yeah.
We're
Cute
acquainted.
name.
Oh, are you?
She's
Joan
very
Jett and the Blackhearts. Do you have a copy of the contract, by the way, for just this employment with Joan Jett and this Blackhearts?
Do we?
I
You
think
do not.
we don't.
I
I
don't
thought we
think
did.
so either.
You took the money, but you never signed a contract.
Oops.
Looks
So-
like we misplaced it.
You misplaced it.
Well, if you ask them, I'm sure they'll tell you the same thing.
I'm sure if I run into them, I will ask them. Well, before we begin, I'm going to ask a few questions of you each individually. Before we begin, though, it seems from my reports that your group is one short. You're missing a satyr.
Yes, Monroe. I'm not sure where he's at. I don't think he actually came back last night. But when we came home, we kind of just crashed.
So a member of your company was missing since last night. Were they with you when you left the party?
Yes.
Yes, he was.
They have been missing since when?
He has a
Walking
tendency
with
to
us.
fuck off. And I believe he did at some point on our way back from the party.
I see.
But he also has a tendency to not tell us where he's going before he does.
Doesn't seem like a good way to run a mercenary company, does it?
It is something we've been trying to work on with him.
Would you kindly explain a couple reports involving theft and assault that involve your currently missing and conveniently misplaced compatriot?
I'm not too sure what you're talking about, Jim.
Yeah, what did he steal?
I was hoping you would tell me.
Is it the jester's outfit from the circus?
Circus. Yeah.
That seems to match up with some of my reports, yes.
Yeah, he also continued to say that he had a plan, and we didn't realize he had taken it from the circus until we were leaving to go to the party.
Do you
That
any of
would
you know anything
explain.
about anything involving an assault?
Assault? No.
No.
Well, I will be certain to follow up on that. If you happen to run into your missing compatriot, please advise them that we'd like to have a chat.
Yes, of course.
Mainly concerning his whereabouts when this unfortunate event took place. And the events leading up to that.
How can we get a hold of you?
Just let him know that we're looking for him. We'll find
Okay.
him.
Mm.
Moving on. Mr. Iddick. Drew?
Yeah. Can you not hear me?
Yeah, okay now. Would you kindly explain why you were overheard inquiring about the Lady Drusilla Rex to a recently dismissed attendant?
Well, yeah, I have some healing capabilities, and she was not doing well on the ship, and I knew she was married to Polly, and I was just wondering if she was okay since we hadn't seen her, and I wanted to inform her of Kyron's passing since they were close.
The Princess Drusilla Rex was close with your recently deceased teammate, Kyron.
Yes.
See.
Well, he was a real healer, and he was helping her with the pregnancy pains and such.
I see. Did you discuss anything else?
With Rose, no.
Rose. Anything else suspicious, noteworthy? Persons or otherwise at the party?
The whole thing was wildly outside of my usual scope. Nothing would have looked out of place to me.
Understand. Nothing else worth sharing?
Not in an official capacity.
And in an unofficial capacity?
Yeah, so I met up with my old captain. That was very exciting for me personally.
This is after the party.
Yeah, well, I saw him during the party, but yeah.
Well, we already established your alibi, so we're good. Roll me a quick insight, though. Just at the mention of Rose. Just an insight. I want to see if you pick up on something.
Insight. That's a 10.
10? Your head's clearing. Like I said, you are hungover as shit. Like, you are not a big drinker, but you realize that as you're talking about Rose and like you're thinking about details from that conversation from that evening, you had asked her about the children of Danu.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
But yeah, but despite that saying she knew nothing, you all of a sudden it dawns on you that you realize that Rose said she had too much to drink to give you a religious education. Rue never mentioned that the children of Danu was something religious. Tim moves on. Ellie,
Yes.
you were also speaking with this dismissed attendant, this Rose. Do you have anything to add?
No, just that I was talking to her and she was exhausted. She said that she didn't have time to talk to me.
Didn't have time to talk to you.
Yeah, she was just, I thought she was somebody else. And I tapped her on the shoulder and I said, wow, that was amazing. How'd you do that? And then I was like, oh, it's not you. So, yeah, and she was real tired and didn't really want to say a lot to me.
Mhm.
I don't know her personally. I thought she, like I said, I thought she was somebody else.
Anyone else suspicious? Anything odd from that evening you'd like to add?
Not that I can really think of. I was just having fun at the party.
Noted. Oh, one last thing. You are a member of this company. This unofficially, you call yourselves the Eternal Vanguard, correct?
Correct.
You are a member of the Eternal Vanguard.
I am.
You are not registered with the Trimark Defense Corps.
Oh,
Not yet.
not yet.
So you
Actually,
are not a member of the Eternal Vanguard.
Not on paper.
no, not
She
on.
joined us fairly recently.
Yes.
But she still attended the party under the name, or the +1, you could say, of the Eternal Vanguard.
The invite said Conrad and Associates. She's associated.
So you knew Chiron personally.
Me. No.
I would suggest getting yourself registered properly, Miss Ellie.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Smalls.
Yes.
You're next in line, and Tim looks over, gives you kind of a one up and down. One soldier to another. Anyone suspicious at this party you'd like to report?
Oh. You can tell Smalls is thinking real. He's really racking his brain, like trying to think. Honestly, not that I noticed. But I was behind, I was up on the stage helping Joan Jett for the majority of the time there. I did a little gambling. There was. Yeah. If I think of something, I will be sure to inform another soldier.
I appreciate that. Oh, also, you're certainly not the only one who's ever managed to sneak a weapon into a party like this, but it's certainly one of the largest weapons I've ever heard of getting snuck into a party like this. Would you kindly tell me how you managed that?
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about, but if you're as intelligent as you definitely seem to be, I'm sure you can put two and two together.
Roll me a charisma saving throw.
My app is pissing me off. I'm going to use that inspiration that I had from last week.
Sure.
So that was really bad. That's not much better. I get an 8.
He marks something down in his. He's been taking notes this entire time. He marks something down in his notebook and just kind of gives you a little nod. Anything else?
Let us know how we can help.
I'll be sure to do that. Argus.
Yes.
He looks you over, gives you a little smile. I'm glad to see you got out of Mr. Iddick's pocket.
Yes. These mercenaries were kind enough to hire me as a cook, so works well. Easy enough transition.
I'm glad you're able to find steady employment. Reports indicate that you never left the stage. You were assisting this Joan Jett Blackhearts in her band.
Your accounts are correct.
Is that correct?
Sir.
All night?
Yes, sir.
Anything you could tell me from your point of view that night? Anything suspicious? Anything odd? Persons or otherwise?
From the perspective I had in the venue, no, I was not seeing anyone that was out of place for such a grandiose party.
Anything else to add?
Hmm. No, I don't think Argus would have had any privy to other information that would have been important or usable.
Thank you, sister. Quinn.
Gosh, you totally know my name. I must have got famous.
Something like that. Reports say you won a costume contest.
So I didn't win per se. Like I totally should have won, but then there was this whole fiasco, and this guy with the guitar actually won. Uh, he took the main prize, which I would have just liked for everyone to say I won, but you know how it goes.
So you didn't win.
Uh, According to the announcer, we tied for first, and we split the prize.
And who was this individual that you tied with?
I think his name was like or Bumblebee or Bubba. I don't really remember. I remember being very terribly upset that that well, I mean, it was fire of him to just offer to split the prize, so we didn't have to compete it out or anything. But I just remember being so upset. I it was Bumblebee. Was it Bruce? It was Bruce. I don't remember.
So an individual named Bruce the Bumblebee won the costume contest and split the prize with you.
He wasn't a Bumblebee, but he was a guitarist. He did play a really good guitar. But yes, we split the main prize. I took the money, and he took whatever the favor was. I'm relatively new in the area, so I didn't even know what to ask for. I just wanted the title. I just didn't get it.
Let's see. Would anyone else like to add to this?
The man never actually gave us his name. I just guessed that it started with a B, and he told me that I was right.
And you believed him?
I mean, it's a party that I've never been to with a bunch of people that I've barely met before.
What was this favor? You said you took the money and he took the favor. What was the favor?
It was like a grand prize for the swimsuit competition. It was like a favor from like the lord of the house, or just like it wasn't a deity, but it was somebody. I I don't know. It didn't seem important at the time.
Hmm. Quinn, roll me a charisma saving throw.
I will go ahead and use inspiration. 18.
I see. You were also reported to have offered yourself to one Major Domo Logain, leader of the township of Opus Dei, the Den, along with several of his associates.
Is he the little gnome dude that tried to slip me drugs?
He is a gnome, yes.
Oh
Not
my
sure
God.
about the roots.
Oh my God, do not get me started on him. I was walking up looking for like another gnome. So I walked up and I was like, oh, maybe the gnomes know each other. So I went over to him and talked to him and his friends, and they're like, yeah, we'll help you find your gnome friend. Like, I just, it was a whole mess. And then he was like, hey, baby, take this to relax. And I was like, I don't really do that. I don't know you. And he was very pushy about it. He got really upset. So I recently got into like this whole religious thing. Like it's not really into it, but you know, like it. There's a story about a goddess and how she was wonderful and she just gave all of her blessings to the people, but it's not like really the one that the church follows. So you know, it's like totally kind of taboo. But you know, I'm kind of that girl. I like the little bits of fun. So, like, I was trying to tell him about that. He got real upset about it. But like, he was eyeing me like, you know, I'm just me. Like, I don't even know. Like, he was totally gross. Like, ugh.
And which of the Trinity are you referring to when you say your goddess?
I don't know. What was um
You don't know
I,
which of your three you are.
it no, it was like so totally on the down low. My BFF Hazel was telling me about this. Like she just like found this book and you know, could have been fantasy, but you know, it was like, "Oh, maybe this goddess will be nice to you." It was like it wasn't Danu, but maybe he had a sister? Oh no, maybe it was that sun god. Uh, I
Danu.
don't
I want to cut in, but I do want to lie. Do I need to roll for my tongue?
Given what you rolled prior, absolutely.
Should I keep that roll to myself, or should I just roll to everybody? So I just have the app right now.
It's up to you. I'll need to know. Either way. So his questioning continues. Like, Danu? Is that the name of your?
I got above
Yes.
a 10, so I can do what I intend to do. So now, should I say my lie and then roll deception?
Sure.
She means Silva. She's real new to this to the whole religion thing, but she does mean Silva. She was got caught up in some folklore.
Chlor. So you are a priestess of Silva.
Oh no, 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 no. Don't get it twisted.
No,
Like,
come on, Quinn. Quinn, don't you remember? That's exactly what it is. You just have a different name because of regionality.
no, no,
Are
no,
you
no.
making intense eye contact with you, Quinn?
So it might have been Silva, but I'm not a priestess. Like look at my forehead. Like I have no power. Like I can devote myself to anyone, but the problem is like I I can't do anything with that devotion. I'm not
You,
like those other people.
do you show him your forehead?
No, no. Uh,
Because you just said, "Look at my forehead."
uh damn it. uh, actually, I never put that back on. So yeah, I totally I never put the bandana back on. Yeah.
He quickly jots something down in his notebook. You definitely take note of that. Look, Miss Quinn, your religious confusion aside, you were overheard saying that the Major Domo and his associates didn't have enough money for the pleasure of your company? Something along those lines?
Yeah, if you're gonna take a girl out on a date, you have to be like nice. You can't be like, "Oh, I'm offering you free drinks and drugs." Like, what kind of person would be that? Like, I absolutely have standards. Like, if they were gonna, they sold drinks at the bar, but no, they weren't even gonna offer me one of those. They were just giving me whatever free shit that they had.
As I understand, all the drinks were free that night. Carte blanche with your invitation.
That wasn't my understanding. I totally watched Monroe pay money for a drink, so it seemed like there was something special going on.
We're getting off topic. Ms. Quinn, just do keep in mind that prostitution isn't necessarily illegal here in the capital, especially in the former House of Poly, given his reputation, but it is regulated and restricted to the red light districts. Please keep that in mind for the future.
Do you actually think I have that kind of talent?
You are also... You're not registered with the Trimark Defense Corps either. Are you a member of this company?
Oh, no. So I totally got lost in the woods and these guys found me. And it was so good because I ran out of food. And then this guy, I'm going to walk up to Smalls, offered to protect me. And I'm so thankful for it. But yeah, I've just been hanging out with him. I was totally like his +1. Like people totally think we're dating, but I don't want to commit to anything right now.
Again, I remind you that prostitution is not necessarily illegal here in the capital, but keep it confined to the red light districts moving forward. If you are an official member of this company, I suggest you get it registered properly. Seems this group isn't keen on following recruitment protocols.
I'm totally along for the ride.
Is there anything else you would like to add? Anything suspicious out of the ordinary?
Nothing that actually comes to mind. Oh, I do remember something. So like there's totally this dude in the party who was bragging about their like magical abilities. And like they seemed totally cool and everything, and they were like, "Hey, I can put a spotlight on you when you do your thing on the swimsuit contest for 50 gold." I was like, "Oh, that sounds awesome." So when I went up to do the competition, I totally wasn't expecting all of everything to go dark, but everything went dark and suddenly there was a spotlight on me, but it burned. Like he didn't tell me he was going to burn me. Like he ruined my clothes. It was just a whole thing. But oh god, I wish I knew his name. He was just bragging and he just seemed like he had some sort of power. So I
Do you have a description
totally.
on this individual or just the events that transpired?
I would have to say just the events. I did drink a lot. Like, if I knew something bad was going to happen, I probably wouldn't have drank so much.
I thank you for your time, Miss Quinn.
Totally. If I remember... Oh, you didn't tell us how to get in contact with you. But, like, I'll tell a guard or something, and maybe they can let you know if I see him on the streets.
Sounds excellent. Excuse me. Mr. Matty Ice.
Present.
I have reports here saying that you vanished into thin air during the costume contest. The same one that Miss Quinn here reportedly won, did not win.
On a side note, I thought, did we register Quinn and Ellie when we reported Drum was dead and then we were told that Norm the Naked was like his next of kin? I thought that we registered with the Satchel.
I don't think you officially registered them. You hadn't asked if they wanted to officially join or not. At least
Okay.
my notes do not
I thought we
indicate that you
did.
officially registered.
That's fine if it doesn't change anything. I was just wondering if he was trying to lie to us or something. And you know what? Jim, was it? Who'd you say you work for again?
The Bureau of Investigations.
Likely story. Can I do an insight just to see if there's anything weird like that he's lying about with that's who he works for?
Sure.
Flaccid 20.
He is unequivocally telling you the truth.
Okay. So what was the question about me vanishing? My magic trick?
Reports are telling me that you vanished into thin air during a costume contest.
Yeah.
The very one that Miss Quinn claims to have won and not won.
Yeah, that shit pissed me off. I was trying to impress someone with that, and obviously that didn't happen.
care to elaborate?
Yeah. So this guy, God, I don't remember, it's like Bumblebee or something like that. Bruce, I don't remember. Anyway,
It was again Bruce the Bumblebee.
well, I don't know what his actual name was. He was a dick for sure, but he, I don't know. I was trying to impress this girl, and all of a sudden, I got hit with this axe that he threw at me for whatever reason, and then I was gone.
He threw an axe at you.
Well, I guess I asked him to do it, but yeah, he like cast a spell on me or something afterwards. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses. Like, I guess that, all is fair in love and war, but what a dick move.
I see. So this Bruce the Bumblebee threw an axe at you and it made you magically disappear.
Yeah, it sounds kind of stupid when you say it out loud, huh, Jim?
And is this before or after you reportedly transformed into some kind of beast as part of your performance? Would you kindly elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I guess that, I transformed as part of the performance because I was trying to win this costume contest, which, Quinn, you said that you didn't get first. Like, that's bullshit, right? God. Anyway.
Right?
So, yeah.
Totally an asshole. He threw an axe at you and then fucking stole the prize. Oh, fuck that guy.
Fucking Bruce the Goose is more like it, right?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that he threw the axe at you, but you asked him to throw the axe at you, but then you split the prize with him, but he didn't. You told me just a minute ago that you willingly split the prize with him.
Jim, were you there? Did you, you had to have been. It's like the biggest party of the year. You had to have been there.
No, I was not in attendance.
You weren't invited?
I can't say that I was.
Oh, shit. That sucks. Okay, so he throws his axe at me, right? And I'm like, shit. Something's stopping me from catching this axe. And like I said, I was trying to impress this girl. So that happened. And then, yeah, I left. I don't even know.
The Trimark Defense Corps does not have you listed as an arcane practitioner. Would you kindly enlighten me how you were able to pull off this elaborate magic trick?
It was definitely not me. Like, someone gave me the assist for sure. I'm still trying to figure that shit out too.
So somebody unwillingly transported you away.
Well, you tell me. You're the one that should be able to tell if I'm lying, right, Jim?
Matt,
Mr. Ice.
Tim.
What was that?
Matt, his name's Tim.
Yeah, I know. Just staring at him.
Stop being a dick.
It's all right, Mr. Riddick.
Malin is just sitting there with her head in her hands, just like, oh god.
Drew is gonna look at the group and look at Matt. And I'm gonna take a deep breath. I think Slevin is the one who transported or disappeared Maddie. I'm not sure on the details. We haven't had a chance to debrief, but I did see him later at the party.
It was when I got the chance to talk to him. But I don't know if he would know who that is. And I'm gonna gesture at Tim.
This is the same individual that you told me now occupies the vacant manor that we've been in question. Correct, Mr. Riddick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Help.
Mr. Ice, let's finish up here.
Mr.
You
Ice.
mentioned this Bruce the Bumblebee also assisted you with this magic trick? Willingly or unwillingly? Would you care to elaborate?
Did he willingly assist me? I asked for a volunteer from the audience, and when no one spoke up, I asked him to do it.
So you did ask him to throw an axe at you?
Yeah, I know it sounds stupid again. I get it. But yes, that's what happened.
Is there anything more you can tell me about this Bruce the Bumblebee?
He was surrounded by belly dancers most of the night.
Understood. Anything else you'd like to add?
Sorry for calling you Jim. And he goes and backs up.
Malin.
Yes.
5 individuals reported that you approached their table and had a conversation, seemingly with yourself. Something about multiple personalities. Asking about the whereabouts of what I can deduce now was your, at the time, missing companion, Maddie Ice here.
Yes. That was a conversation with Slevin.
You were having a conversation with Slevin. He was among these 5 people, or could you kindly elaborate?
I don't know what Slevin is, but he is a very strong. He likes to do like tricks and pranks on people, and he, at that time, we had seen multiple things that looked like Slevin, and so we broke apart to try to get information from him as to the whereabouts of Maddie at that time. And I was apparently the only one that actually spoke to Slevin. And after the conversation that I had with him, I realized that it was also a table of random people.
And this conversation that you had with Slevin was about your missing compatriot?
It was about that, and a few other questions that I have had for him for quite some time.
Care to elaborate?
I don't know if you would believe me if I told you.
Would this have anything to do with when you asked the individuals about bugs and a hive?
There's part of it, yes, but also I used to only be able to speak telepathically to people. I did not have vocal cords, and that was something that he did to me.
He as in Slevin.
Yes. If I may ask, how did you know to call me Malin? All of my paperwork says Abby.
We'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Not that I can think of. I did have a few drinks during the night, but it wasn't anything that would have caused me to react like a crazy person.
I see. Later I am told that you asked a soothsayer if you were going to become a creature. Would you kindly elaborate?
Well, seeing as so many things about me have changed in terms of, I'm going to gesture at my throat. I'm not sure what kind of side effects he could cause.
Slevin.
And so I was just a bit worried. Yes, I was just a bit worried about what Slevin's abilities would do to me.
Is this a common thing, this metamorphosis among your tribe?
Actually, no. Hence my concerns.
So you're saying that the changes that you've been undergoing are strictly at the behest and force of this Slevin?
I would assume so, as I did not have any of those kinds of changes until after Slevin returned to that house.
Noted. Would you kindly let me see your travel papers?
Yes. 1 moment. I'll go grab them and hand them to him.
Maddie tenses up.
Are
There
you
go.
nervous, Mr. Ice?
Do I look nervous, Tim?
You look extremely nervous.
He's a bit too shy to say it, but the person he was trying to impress was me. So
Maddie
he
blushes.
tends to get a bit protective.
I see. Do you give him your papers?
Yes.
He's mulling over them for a moment. Completely, his eyes left and right, but otherwise he is completely motionless.
Okay.
Do you go by Obby or do you go by Malin?
Recently I've been going by Malin. It is a nickname that I've been trying out.
A nickname.
Mm-hmm.
So publicly you are going by this Malin, except your papers indicate that you are Obby.
Yes. When my people leave from our tribe, we are allowed to choose our own name, and I chose Obby at the time. With the copious amounts of changes that I have gone through since encountering Slevin, I felt I might possibly need to change that name again, and so I was testing out Malin. But it's not something that I've decided to do permanently, thus I haven't gone through paperwork to change that on my things, as you can see.
Roll me a charisma saving throw.
Okay. That is an 18.
Well, is there anything that anybody else would like to add?
I'm gonna shake my head and then gently hold out my hand to see if he'll give me back the papers.
He's holding on to them for now.
Okay.
Tim. Tim. Is that your name? It's Tim, right? Not Jim.
You can call me Tim.
I thought it was Tim. Your eyes are beautiful. I just have to tell you that. Watching your eyes, oh my gosh, I am just.
I am not interested, Miss Elirath. Thank you.
No, I'm just trying to compliment you.
I think I have everything that I need here. So, what's next for all of you?
We're planning on heading to Marsenstein.
Actually, before we get there, I totally have a question for you. Like, if you find Bruce B, whatever his name is, could you just tell him to tell everyone that I won? Then that would just solve all of these problems.
You wouldn't happen to know how I could get in contact with this Bruce Bumblebee, would you?
I wish I did. I should have made better conditions, but I was so excited. All right, no worries. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Go ahead and make me one charisma saving throw.
So technically, she wouldn't know because he told me specifically, and I haven't told them yet.
Haven't told me what. Oh, 13.
13? Pretty sure he told 3 of you there at the end when he was splitting everything up. Either way. He marked something down.
True.
He marked something down in his notebook. So you're heading north. Finish your rule of 3?
Yes.
Well, the capital is on lockdown, or at least will be extremely soon. I'm not saying don't leave town, but I'm certainly not comfortable offering you all a pass despite your rather meteoric rise in some circles as a respected mercenary company. At least, soon to be mercenary company. There's, at least for me after our chat here, too much uncertainty. But if you manage to get on your way, good luck in the last leg of your rule of 3. Good day, Eternal Vanguard. He hands you your papers, Malin.
Thank you.
And he makes his way to the door, lets himself out. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break because we're 10 minutes over.
Breathe.
So stressful. That was so stressful.
Jesus Christ, everybody.
Oh my god.
Interrogations are fun.
Nobody
What are
ever
you
talked to the
talking
cops
about?
before?
Yeah.
So this is supposed to be a fun game to play?
Well, you see, I'm Mexican. I'm used to it. Like, I live
Listen,
in a
Melon's-
predominantly white community. I get pulled over. I'm used to be like, oh, hello. Get out of the car.
On the ground!
Here you go. Here's all the information
I'm a
that you're
little
gonna need.
rule
I know you're
follower.
gonna ask
I'm
me anyway.
stressed.
Even if I follow the law, they find
Wait, that's what he
They don't
was.
like
Queen
me.
is 100% a Valley girl, so she was gonna spill everything that
Everything.
she knew about everything that's not her personal life.
I am going to use the restroom and refill my drinks. You all relax for a minute. Let's meet back in, let's say 10 minutes. Let's take a 10-minute break. 7:54, 7:55 approximately. My time?
Sounds good.
Okay. 10 minutes, y'all.
Wait a second. Is Allie here right now? Allie's saying we stressed her out.
So we're gonna try and make a break for it to Marsenstein, right?
Oh, definitely. But I now like Allie chastised us for how we behaved during our interview. However, me and you should not have been part of that interview in the first place. It's entirely Drew's fault that that Maddie and Quinn were put in that interview in the first place.
Yeah, charisma is my dump stat also. So anytime I'm on here, I'm always trying to.
Hey, I heard you guys were talking shit.
Whoa!
Yeah,
The biggest
we got a
of
bone
shit
to pick.
talkers.
Yeah, we totally weren't going to be involved with that. I'm traumatized, so I have like half saving throws because somebody, crit and knocked me out the first time I met you guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
can I turn this up?
How's the weenie doing?
No,
Oh, you
Fun.
can turn it that way, yeah.
yeah. Is the volume on here too?
I had the theorem of check the Odyssey while it's warmer. Because if it cranks while it's warmer, then it's
Now I can't hear
more
anybody.
likely
How do I
those-
work this thing?
Oh,
issues.
turn the other way.
Yes, we have about
Yeah.
9 minutes left. Judging
Yeah.
on this expedity of that, it did not.
Yeah. Maddie and Quinn, the two people you probably didn't want talking to in the investigator, you walked right up to us like
We only need 2 plates, huh?
Yeah.
Carza. Negatoro.
You know what I want? Both your coins right now, or just one? Tell Alex I say hi.
John says hello, Alex.
It didn't say hello, but yes, that'll work.
He says, "Tell Alex I said hi." Better?
Thank you. Much
You
better.
verbatim slut.
No. We don't shame in this house.
I can't play on my computer right now.
Who said it was shaming?
Fair, fair. Residual from Marshall calling me a prostitute.
Prostitution is a respectable job. It was the first profession.
I was real curious where my line of questioning was going to go.
No, it's just a historical argument. That's about it. Someone did the job that no one else wanted to.
Wait, what? Prostitution?
He's just
Yeah. Hey, Drew's retired. He doesn't do that anymore.
Not in this segment of life.
about
Guys, interview process though was super hard for me to do. Like those long pauses were me laughing so hard at how ridiculous my responses had to become to keep that going.
Right now, you guys are gonna kill me.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Worried.
It's okay.
You
Monica
you're
had to
entirely
that.
you brought me and Maddie into that. We totally were going to dip out like entirely.
Less suspicious.
He didn't clock us.
Assumed that the cops knew who the group was since he wanted to talk to the whole group.
That's fair, but I didn't have
Quinn
pink
probably
hair.
could have snuck away. Yeah,
I was
that's
gonna
on
say,
you. You could have left.
You walked right up to us. I did consider leaving.
You want to fight? we can
Get
fight in
'em.
October.
Get off.
We can fight in October.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You
Are you
Train up.
totally.
live by October?
Uh.
Oh no.
You
Quinn and
totally
Drew
get me.
aren't fighting.
Oh.
She did not lube her corn.
Are we wearing overalls again?
Dude, no.
Right now.
We're wearing the chainmail cod pieces. At least all the dudes.
Oh, jeez.
And anyone else who wants them.
We're gonna wear overalls, right?
Alright. Overalls or
I'm wearing
chainmail
Halloween
cod pieces?
costumes.
Ooh, that could be fun too.
That would be.
You're gonna catch me in a clown costume.
I don't
The whole
have
time.
Bet. Let's go.
Dude, I could be one of those slutty bunnies.
Oh,
I'll get a
jeez.
pink wig and everything.
Like a Playboy bunny?
Yeah, with a pink wig
Okay.
and a beard, I guess.
Well, I mean, you can shave if you want.
I guess I could. I don't want to shave my legs though. That's real commitment to the bit. Do I like you guys enough that I'd shave like my legs and everything and show up in a bunny costume and a pink wig?
Well, you had drum overalls last
You
year.
love me enough to do that.
Do I? I did have drum overalls last time. See, but I feel like Matt would take a picture of me and send it to Jess, and then she would feel worse about knowing me as a person, and I don't know if I can handle that kind of disappointment.
Of course.
Jess is like a fantastic person.
What happens in Phoenix stays in Phoenix? Question mark?
Child.
We're in surprise.
Surprise!
I'm excited to see you guys in October.
Be fun.
Gotta start getting my gift.
That includes you, Mark.
Mark's asleep right now.
He probably is.
I have buttered corn.
Oh my.
I have almond windmill cookies from Trader Joe's.
Nice.
Yes, Lindsay and Allie went for a run. Get some windmill cookies.
That's valid.
But it's a good pairing with a blue moon.
I'm out of Coke, so I'm just drinking rum straight right now.
Mm.
I had a coupon. Got 2 12-packs of Blue Moon. That's why we have one tonight.
Marshall, I hope you know that really stressed me out.
I think he's in there laughing with Allie and Lindsay. Somebody's stressing out in there. I'm in the other side of the house, but I can hear it.
Probably Allie. He said, "Let me see your papers," and I was like, "Oh God."
La migra.
La migra. His eyes
His eyes were so
are gonna
blue.
get me.
They're so blue. I had to comment. But I was married to an investigator. I know what not to say, and that was what not to say.
And Quinn felt compelled to not shut up, so that
Nervous chatter. Ellie's like,
That was
what is
also
going
definitely
on?
Madeline. And I was like, hold on. So it wasn't that. The only reason that I haven't done this yet.
Yeah, I was
He said
really.
Malin, and I was like, oh God, no.
How do you know? How do you know?
I'm just glad I'm not the
Oh,
one that's under
Pistachio.
investigation anymore.
I hate
Maybe.
being dead.
it's like how everything circled back to me being a prostitute. Like Marshall,
Like, oh my gosh.
Marshall's like objectifying my character, and I don't know how I feel about that.
You did make your character very objectifiable.
Just yeah. Thank you for saying it.
And even saying you would dress like a
You
pink-haired
victim
bunny.
shaming now.
Hmm.
Oh no, that
Lied to him by saying a beam just came down out of nowhere? Excuse me, that was your lie?
I
no, my
know.
lie was I paid some dude in the crowd to make a beam come out of nowhere.
But yeah, that was your
Where are
only
you going
lie.
with this?
Why are
All right,
stress?
we are back. So,
I'm going back to being dead. Yeah, I know. I'm
Being
leaving
dead.
now.
what do you need to do boat for, Ragnar?
Anyways,
I appreciate Morn jumping in. Like, why did you do this? Of all of the characters.
yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Allie was saying, did everyone take more and crazy pills today?
I didn't realize that Morn read his will and you all got a piece of his stupid.
It was my favorite inheritance.
All right. Okay, we are back. Okay. Agent Tim lets himself out, closes the door behind him. There are still people, there are still crowds gathering, people shouting. The criers are telling the story over and over and over again out there, riling people up. You can still hear the guards, clomping in unison as they're patrolling the streets. But you guys are left alone in the Angus and Ingus warehouse.
Yeah, if we don't want to end up on lockdown, we should probably hurry up and get out of here.
I'm pretty sure it's already too late for that.
That's gonna put more suspicion on our group.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you all just helped all that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing Jim here. Okay, yeah, appreciate that.
He was
What
yeah,
was
hey,
that?
he was gonna talk with the rest of the group anyway. Okay, he
No,
ran
it's
into me
fine.
down at the docks.
Okay.
So about those registrations, do we need to put those in? I didn't know that was a thing. I thought it was just you're on.
Well,
Yeah,
you guys
we can-
are
There is
also
paperwork
the
that needs
first
to be
people that we're-
completed.
You guys are the first people that we're adding to the group.
So how does that happen? You sign something? What do you do? Take an oath? I swear.
Just need you to sign a letter of intent, and I can send it in the satchel over to them. Just to scan it to them.
You have a what?
Well, just sign this paper that says you want to be part of the Eternal Vanguard, and I'll scan it over to them in this magical satchel.
So it just goes straight to them? Can you
Yep.
talk to anyone else in the satchel?
Nope. Just
It's just a one way, two way. Got it.
yeah. If they have any questions, they'll send it back. But just if you want to join, go ahead and sign this real quick, and I'll send it over.
All right. Ellie signs.
Basically, Ellie, you read over it. It says it needs your full name, your dukedom of origin, and your and your practitioner. Like basically, are you a fighter? Or are you a monk? Are you a wizard? What are you? Basically, you have to fill that out in detail.
So they have to know I'm a sorcerer.
Yep.
Okay. And do I put Maddie, help me. Do I put that I'm a wildling? I
Well, it's just whatever you want to register with them. If they ever question you in the future,
I would not recommend going with a wildling.
Yeah, it's how you want to be registered.
Kyron said that he was from the city right where you guys were at. That is how his paperwork was listed.
the city. Wait, what? I got confused there.
Kyron said he was from Sylvaden, just to clarify.
Yeah. Kyron just had on there that he was from.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking Sylvaden, but
Mhm. Yeah.
'cause yeah. Okay, so I'll write that. Anything else? Of those three things? My full name is Ellie Rayeth. So I write that down. Ellie Rayeth.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and send it over then. After she's puts them down, I'll go ahead and put it in the satchel.
Does Quinn, are you gonna register?
Like, I'm totally fine being like a +1 to the party. Like, documentation.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. If you're not going to be part of our group. And what's with that brand on your head?
Oh, don't you know, guys? I'm totally a tranquil, which means I have no magical. I'm totally a tranquil, and I'm gonna raise my voice, which means I have no magical abilities whatsoever. So I'm kind of just like a regular party member. So I don't really have anything. Like, I have a crossbow, so I guess you could put me down as a fighter. But yeah, no magical ability whatsoever.
Right. All right. Well, Quinn, fighter, and where are you from?
Oh, Trinaborg. Like, where else are you gonna get this brand? The fucking religious nutcases.
I fill it in for Quinn, and I hand it over for Quinn to sign.
Fighter, Trinaborg. Yeah, I guess this. I'm doing this under protest. I'm only doing this because Ellie did it first.
And Ellie just cringes at the word tranquil. It's like her eyes go wide and it's like she sucks in her breath like, oh, sorry. It's my nightmare.
Yeah, so Quinn's gonna sign the paper and it's like, yeah, totally, mine too, and then she's gonna put on her headband covering up her brand.
I'll go ahead and send them over into the satchel to get that finished up.
So Quinn,
I'm gonna sit down by them and just look over my paperwork again. Scrutinize it.
So Quinn, Ellie walks over and just kind of whispers, can you talk to me about that sometime? About what happened to you?
Was like totally like a long time ago, but yeah, we can totally have a discussion about it. Probably after we are not
Oh,
here and under
yeah,
investigation.
of course, of course. But yeah, I am r- really interested in your story.
Totally, babes. Like, I'm fantastic. That's why I almost won that competition.
You are fantastic, and you should have won. Yes, ma'am. You are beautiful.
Right? Even that guy thought I won. Ugh.
Yeah, that was confusing.
Does anyone have detect magic at all to like see if there's make sure there's no like traps or anything, or anyone listening in on us? Never mind.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
It would absolutely be amazing if someone had that skill.
I agree. Marshall, is the town on lockdown yet or no?
Not yet. So as you all kind of like start putting all this stuff together and deciding what you want to do next, you do need to head out and get your next rule of 3 does. Like, you're not going to do that if you were stuck in the capital while it's under lockdown, however long it's going to take for this investigation. You all remember specifically that Tim said, I'm not going to say leave town, but he's not going to give you guys a pass either. So there are ways out, and there are ways past the blockade and the lockdown. It's not against the rules for you to leave. He already questioned you, already investigated you, but he didn't feel comfortable signing off on you all leaving. Doesn't necessarily means that he thinks you're all like guilty of something. He just didn't necessarily want to give you the easy way out. Drew, you specifically remember that Captain Malik was getting ready to get the fuck out here soon as well. So, it's like, you have means, perhaps, of getting out. And it's in the company's best interest to do so.
Oh my god, guys, I had this interesting idea. Not magically procured at all, but totally, we should ask Joan Jay and the Jets. We can totally offer them protection on their way out of town, because they might need it. And realistically, we have good favor and rapport with them. And I think that there's Monroe. Like, we should probably get out of here.
Yeah, we need to find Monroe so we can leave. He knows that we're going to Marsenstein, so it's not like we're lying about where we're trying to take off to.
That is true.
If I remember correctly, isn't Marsenstein also like north, like next to the ocean? Like, wouldn't like going by sea be probably faster if possible?
I do know somebody with a boat.
Really? That might be able to help, but we're gonna have to act like quick, guys. I think we should try and find Morn and get out of here like today.
Maddie and a couple of you others immediately clock like some banging and stuff like already behind you. You turn around and you see that Angus and Ingus are actually like readying your guys' wagon. Angus turns to all of you and says, I've done seen this shit before. If you get fucking locked down here, you're gonna be stuck here for weeks. I promise you that. You're gonna get absolutely nothing fucking done, and I don't want you all sitting here taking up my fucking space for weeks on end doing absolutely nothing. So, here. I already got your fucking fat bird hooked up here. Got your wagon all set up. And I want you to take this. And he actually has, like, on a dolly here, he's moving things over. He offers you 2 cases of iron bars. Like, smelted, ready to go, fully forged iron. And they're about, they're literally about 1,000 pounds altogether. But he goes in to explain that the bars are worth about 500 gold at base. So, like, if you were to purchase them from the place where they were produced, like, say, Opus Day, you could buy them for like 500 gold, maybe even less. But if you were to sell them in a place that does not produce goods like this, like Marsenstein, which is a heavy military kind of culture, you could make a fucking killing. Easily double your pay. So he offers you guys to take these 2 cases of iron bars off of his hands. He'll put them in your wagon. They will fill what your wagon can currently carry in terms of goods. It doesn't count towards like rations and things like that you're going to store in the wagon, but it will count towards any goods you're going to transport. Basically, he offers them to you that if you carry them up to Martenstein and sell them for him, anything that you sell over 1,000 gold for is yours to keep.
Sounds like a deal.
Just in case we run into any problems like we previously did, can we get that like in a contract, mostly to protect your goods? Because we don't know who we're going to run into along the way. It gives us justification to handle.
Angus actually smiles like real big. He has like this kind of like look of pride on his face, and he hands you a already like signed documentation of like it's basically a bill of goods that is like if you read it over real quick, it says like I, Angus of such and such and such, I'm giving you these goods to transport on behalf of our partnership to sell, etc., etc. He's giving you a contract for these goods, stating that you have legal right to carry them for him.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's still basically saying that you are employed with Angus, because until you complete your rule of 3, you cannot enter a actual official partnership with him. So you're using his trade license to transport these goods. You are basically hired muscle to transport his goods to a select buyer.
Not to my body.
So, do you guys agree to that?
We're the
Totally
couriers.
awesome. Let's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Quinn's
He loads them up.
Yep. Quinn's gonna grab the paperwork and be like, "Yep, we totally need this."
Okay. You guys are tapped out on any goods that you can transport in the wagon in its current form. It can only carry about 1,000 pounds worth of goods. Doesn't mean you can't still get up inside of it. Doesn't mean you can't like stash your rations and a few other things inside of there. But if you're going to try and like haul any hides or any other additional goods that you might try and purchase at a cheap rate, you are tapped out. Okay.
All right, well, let's get moving.
I do have something. So I don't have locate person, but I do have locate object.
Okay.
Could I cast that looking for Morn's armor?
I think you have to cast it. Hang on a second. What is the wording on locate object?
Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction of the object's location as long as that object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you know its direction of movement. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close at least once. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object of a particular kind.
Okay. It is not within 1,000 feet of you.
Okay.
Good idea, though. Very, very good idea. But unfortunately, you were not within 1,000 feet of the armor.
Does anyone have any ideas on where Morn could have gone?
He was talking to the guy at the circus.
That guy hated us.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's possible when to return the costume he stole.
He would tell he would tell us if he was leaving, right?
Would he? Like everything I know about that guy totally says that he's gonna go do his own thing or whatever. Like remember when he shoved my face into vomit?
I feel like he would have at least left a note for you.
I'm gonna start like looking through my things. Well, did he come back to the warehouse with y'all?
No, he disappeared like right around the time that you left. Or like
Did anybody
somewhere in
see him?
between leaving and us getting back. We didn't see him when we got back.
Wasn't it the last time we saw Morn. Was that with Marceline?
No, he was coming back with us at the party, then he disappeared. But he does that. He just like vanishes and then he comes back later, but usually he's here by the morning.
We also don't really have time to wait around for him. Like, you think he would find another way out if we totally left him and then just try to meet up with him later? That circus travels, right?
Yeah, we can talk to Angus and Ingus, and I don't know if you guys want to still try and go to the boats to see if that's another option to travel with our wagon. But we can definitely do that so that there's a message left behind.
Angus
What
is
about-
kind of like still in the immediate area and it kind of chimes in like, listen, if the boy shows up, okay, I'll point him in your direction. He's a sneaky lad. He'll find his own fucking way, but I'll tell you right now, this is a business, and you can either run it as a friendship or you can run it as a business. And if you run it as a friendship, go looking for him. I don't even know if you're gonna get out of here. So make your fucking decision. All right, I already got my goods loaded up, so I've got an investment on y'all getting the fuck out of here. Savvy?
Right.
Savvy.
If he shows up here, I'll point him in your direction. He's a quick boy. He'll catch up.
Sounds totally good to me. Do the same for Morb. Like, I still have a lot I need to discuss with that guy.
Borb. I'm pretty sure I overheard y'all reading a fucking letter saying that he was off to go kill somebody, eh?
That's true, but he'll
We'll
probably
find us
come
when
back
he's
here.
done.
If he pops up, I will definitely let him know that you've headed north.
Perfect. All right, that seems to wrap up all of the business we totally have here. Let's get on a boat, go find some band people. Like we have options that we need to get out of here.
Yeah, Drew, can you lead the way?
Yep, let's go.
You all load up your wagon. Like I said, Malin, keep your rations and stuff like that. We'll divvy them all up here in a bit. But I would say that at this point, you've like kind of like hastily loaded everything you could imagine into the wagon, just like throwing it all in the back. Like fuck it, we'll sort all this out later. But, yeah. At this point, you guys are in a quick hurry to get the fuck out of town. Quark is definitely like he's harnessed up. He's actually kind of excited. He's got this kind of like big ruffle of his feathers. It's like he's ready to go. He has been cooped up inside of this place for far too long. He is ready to hit the road. So you got a very happy, very giant bird. As you throw the doors open, the double doors open to your warehouse, and immediately begin pouring into this massively crowded street. A lot of eyes are immediately on all of you as you guys come marching out with this massive yellow bird leading a wagon and this like mercenary company in tow, this ragtag group. A lot of people begin to part the ways. A lot of people are watching. People with small children are actually like standing in awe. It's almost like they're looking at this massive bird. You're garnering a lot of attention, and honestly it's positive given the very negative connotations of the conversation that's having, or that people have gathered around to listen to from the crier. So you guys begin making your way out. You guys start making your way towards the Opus docks, the Opus District docks.
Yeah, and for anyone wondering, Smalls actually has vehicle land proficiency, so he's our wagoneer.
Perfect. Smalls is definitely up there leading the way. He's a pretty savvy hand with a wagon, honestly. It's like you guys saw, Ingus leading the way. It's like he's not quite on Ingus's level, but he's easily, maneuvering this giant bird through the street, dodging out of the way of people, anything that gets in the way. He's pretty handy with a set of reins. So surprisingly, he's a pretty savvy wagoneer. Okay. Anything going on the way as you guys make to the docks, or are we just going to jump straight there?
As we get closer to the dock, or as we get like closer to the dock, I do want to. Can I cast Locate Object? Because I knew that he split off at the same time, and I know that he like has a weird connection with the ocean.
Sure. You're casting Locate Object again. What spell is that?
It's a second level.
Second level? How many second level spells do you have?
That would
3?
be my last one.
Okay. You cast it as soon as you get to the docks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still not within 1,000 feet. You don't
Okay.
really detect anything.
Cool.
You got to think of like in a mile, there's 5,280 feet. So
I don't
1,000
remember.
feet is less than a quarter mile, basically.
Oh,
And you're talking a massive city and a massive set of docks with dozens upon dozens of structures here leading upon dozens of ships. So 1,000 feet in the grand scheme of things is not all that much.
I put my arm on Drew's shoulder, my hand on Drew's shoulder, saying, "He'll catch up. Don't worry."
I want to abandon him.
You're totally not abandoning him. He will find his way. He clawed back from death before. Like, I mean, he had my help, but you know.
He's dead.
No, of course not. I think he's with the Carnival crew, and he probably got tangled up and, insulted somebody, so he's probably like hiding in their cart. He's probably getting carted off right now that I think about it.
Quinn,
Did I say something wrong?
look, we're in a hurry. Look, let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Totally agree.
Do I still see Mal's ship?
You make your way to where Mal's ship, Captain Malik's ship, the Leviathan, was docked. It is gone.
By chance, do we see the splinters on my fingers?
You arrived at where the Leviathan was docked, and in your complete downtrodden, like, oh fuck, that didn't work out. You guys begin making your way back towards the docks, and as you're all looking around, you absolutely spot a similar looking red paddle boat, large triple deck vessel that is extremely familiar to some of you. And even in the distance, you hear this like kind of familiar.
That didn't come over.
Oh, it's like a wobbling sound, like whoop, 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 whoop. It's that strange like scuttling sound that Captain Albert Alexander was known to make when you guys were with him. He mimics the sound of the paddles on his boat splashing against the water, even when the vessel's not moving. And you all remember, back. It's like you all think back. Those of you that know him, he doesn't move in straight lines. He doesn't walk like a normal person. He kind of like moves left and right with his hands up in the air, and he kind of like clasps his robotic his automaton fingers together, like he moves very crab-like.
Must be our lucky day.
But yeah, you guys definitely spot these splinter zombie fingers off in the distance as Captain Albert Alexander is like cutting lines and getting things squared away. It's only him on his vessel, though.
Look, guys, point over there.
I'll go up and talk to him.
Maybe Morb is with him too.
As we approach as a group, Ellie's gonna use a bonus action to for 2 runes.
Okay. Fire up 2 runes.
Fired up.
Cool.
Thank you. Couldn't think of what to do. Fired up.
Yeah, you guys make your way over to the splinters on my fingers. Anything? But yeah, there's Captain Albert Alexander. He's just like he's got this like constant like sound as he's like mimicking the sounds of the steamboat paddles. Like I said, slapping against the waters. Like I said, he never walks in a straight line. He's got this very like crab-like movement to himself. He's tall and chrome, got wooden accents, especially on his hands. Got this big bicorn hat, sporting this obnoxious finger. Long split coat. He's got the real look of like a Navy man, except he's an automaton. So he's got this very like wooden, strange kind of look. His eyes like light up real bright. His mouth is always like big and agape. Here, I'll post. Like, it's been a while since most of you have been encountering Albert Alexander. But his vessel is the Splinters on Me Fingers. It's a multi-deck, multi-tiered paddle boat for his river travels. And I will post that as you all approach. Large steam stack in the back, multiple tiers to it, and but you guys approach and you guys remember that you're like many of you remember your time on this thing, the battles of the Harpies, it just everything that went down. A lot of history on this vessel, but you all make your way over there.
Ellie leans over to or asks Malin, where are we going?
We can see if Captain Albert Alexander will give us a ride on his ship up north. We've ridden with him before. He was actually a friend of Moore.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Captain Albert Alexander, how are you?
Good. Oh, it's you. All of you. Hi. Hi. Hello.
Hey. By chance, are you heading north?
I'm heading anywhere that's not here.
Could we possibly gain passage with you?
Do you have a pass?
We need to head to Marsenstein. We have some business to take care of. And I'm going to gesture at her cart.
That didn't answer my question.
We do not.
Do not. I see.
He didn't tell us not to leave town, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I am smuggling. You're asking me to smuggle you, but not smuggle you, correct?
I wouldn't personally use the word smuggle.
What would you use?
We can pay, and I have some experience on a ship.
Oh. So. As you all kind of look around, it's like it's literally just Captain Albert Alexander on this ship. Well, how many of you?
Just those of us that you see here.
So 8 of you.
I'm gonna count heads real quick and be like,
I'm pretty sure
Yes.
that big fucking bird of yours counts as about 10.
Ever the jokester.
Oh, I ain't kidding.
Oh,
that's fair. We do have rations for him
We can
specifically
keep the
as
bird
well.
calm.
Well, that's sure as
Yes.
shit good, because I don't got nothing to feed him.
Mhm.
Keep the bird calm.
Okay. Well. He begins looking around. 1,300 gold.
Sorry?
1,300 gold, and I'll get you out of the city. 1,300 gold pieces. That's what I feel comfortable with. Because I'm going to have to stash a few of you along with your big fucking bird below deck, and a few of you are going to hang out up here and pretend to be my, and his little robotic appendages comes up and he clacks them together. Crew!
Can I roll an insight to see if that's if that's a hard number or if he's just kind of throwing out a number?
Sure, roll me an insight.
18.
18. It is not a hard number. You kind of piece it together. To book a riverboat passage, just normally, is about 50 gold a person. And then if you're transporting a wagon, it's 100, 200 gold. Basically, he's charging you double, if not triple, given the circumstances for most things. He's taking the risk of smuggling you all out without a pass.
Mhm.
Gotcha. So a normal amount might be 400, so probably triple. 400 or 500 is probably normal.
Give or take.
It's about 900 more.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish we had that amount. It's a little bit more than we have to actually offer you.
And I will bring up above the table that Drew mentioned that he was skilled with on a ship.
Yeah.
Can we trade some of that for labor as well?
Only one of you said that you were any useful, and I don't recall any of you being that useful the last time you were on here.
That is a fair point.
Yeah, that was very rude of us last time for sure too. What I think that many of us have skills that would be able to help though. I'm kind of like patting Smalls on the shoulder as hard as I can.
It's not.
You're not coming through.
Yeah, you cut out
It-
there, Marshall.
He's not really my type, but okay.
USR?
Quinn looks insulted.
Are you all trying to negotiate?
Yeah.
I think we are
Yes.
trying to negotiate.
Yeah, trying to.
Who wants to roll me a persuasion, and what is your argument? What are you trying to offer to lower the cost here? It's like, keep in mind, you guys are on a time clock here.
I'm awful at persuasion, team.
I have great persuasion, but I just need to know Malin. What do I need to say? What should I?
Are you good at tying ropes?
I am. I am.
Like sailors kind of ropes?
Yes. Yes.
That would probably help.
How should I frame that? Sir.
Captain.
Captain. Sorry, Captain.
Whoa.
I am good at knots and tying things off. So I could be help on the crew as well.
So I got one semi-sailor and one knot tire. Anything else?
Should I
So,
roll a persuasion?
It's a steamboat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really good at shoveling coal and labor.
You can offer yourself for labor.
Absolutely.
All right. I will adjust the DC here. Is anybody else offering any kind of skills that would be useful on the ship?
Smalls is labor with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also look at Argus and be like, you could also help with the cooking if you would like to offer those services as well.
You all realize that Captain Albert Alexander is a automaton that does not eat.
Yeah, same. That's why I didn't offer it directly initially.
Yeah.
I'm already cooking for everyone here, anyways, because we are the people that would be eating.
Yeah, I just know that I'm not really good for much else other than protection.
Well, I can also mend. So if anything happens, sorry, it's a steamboat. It's like there wouldn't be any sails, right?
Not really.
I'm kind of.
You have
Unless
this.
the spell.
Is it the spell? Is it the spell mend? Is that what you're talking about?
I have the spell mend, but I am also a weaver.
Yeah, the spell mend's actually really good for that type of stuff, especially for automatons. I think you could actually heal them with that, if I remember correct. Maybe it's been a while.
Technically, yes, you can use mending to heal automatons.
So I throw that out there.
Okay. Anybody else? All right.
I have a crossbow.
That doesn't appeal to him too much.
Wait. Drew's gonna like look him in the eye and say, if you help us, I will personally be in your debt.
Okay.
Whatever you want that to mean, sir.
He just kind of like raises like one of his like little metallic eyebrows, which is literally like just a curved piece of metal. It's like,
Quinn's gonna pipe in. That investigator totally said prostitution's only allowed in the red light district.
When I'm retired.
all right, Ellie. At this point, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. The DC has been lowered. It's going to be a 16. I will let you roll it at advantage because of the help of the team.
All right. Persuasion.
Yeah.
That is Oh my gosh, it's an 11. Why do I keep rolling 4s?
Even with the advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Nah, he's pretty firm on 1,300 gold, even with all y'all's arguments.
I only see one in there. You rolled twice, Ellie?
Oh, do I get advantage? Oh,
I said you get it. Yeah, you get advantage because
that
of
was
all
a
the help from the group.
19. 19.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry, I only rolled once.
Okay. Yes, I said you get advantage. So yes.
Sorry, you did.
All right. You all make your arguments here about various labors and various works, things you can offer. Yeah. He shifts a little bit. He's like, he is crewless at this point. He has nobody here helping him. He changes his tune and offers it for 900 gold.
I nod my head over at Ellie in agreement that it's a good price.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Can
So
we come aboard?
Yep, he lets you all come aboard. So 900 gold from whoever you choose, or a combination of everybody. Whatever you all want to do.
Got it.
He takes to hiding several of you below deck with the wagon and the bird immediately, but he does ask several of you to kind of stay up on deck, at least 3 of you to stay up on deck and act as crew, so to speak. So who wants to go below and who wants to be above?
Ellie's going to be above.
Okay.
I'll go below.
So let's say who's staying above. Need 3 of you. We got Ellie. Drew.
I can stay above too.
Okay, Maddie for now will stay above. So the 3 of you stay above. Everybody else immediately, like you hastily, like the cargo bay opens with like a double door bay. You immediately, hastily bring your bird and the wagon down. Quark isn't too keen on getting in here, so I'm gonna need a animal handling check from whoever's keeping Quark calm.
Drew, was that you that had good animal handling?
Yeah, I also have speak with animals.
Perfect. So you can do this with advantage.
Yeah. All right. So let me.
It's like I'll put the rule out if you're using speak with animals, anything having to do with Quark, it automatically gives you advantage.
I believe
Can I
Smalls
speak with
also
animals?
has
Then where is
the
my-
Mask of the Beast, which would allow him to talk to Quark too, since he's the Wagoneer.
True.
That's an 8.
An 8 altogether?
Yeah.
Woof. Is
Yeah.
there anything you got that can re-roll that or anything?
Didn't you roll a 1 in the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you can re-roll one of your rolls. You have to get guys gave you an inspiration.
Please be good. That's a 17.
17. Okay. Much better. Okay. With that, you're able to communicate with Quark and just let him know, like, hey, we're gonna go under.
Mhm.
Like, honestly, what do you say? I shouldn't be leading this.
Hey,
Quark is
Quark.
like extremely nervous and like he does not like being in small confined spaces. Like he's used to the corral where he was, but that was pretty open and surrounded by other animals. So he was used to that.
Hey, Quark. Welcome to the team. I'm Drew. I know being on a boat is kind of scary, but we need you to go. We need you to go in here. It's gonna be like a. It'll be your little house. You're gonna make up a nest. You'll be down there with everybody, get to know the team. We're gonna keep you safe, okay?
First ever had a house.
Yeah, now you get to have a house. Isn't that cool?
Is it warm?
Absolutely. We will keep it so toasty.
Is there food?
100% there is food.
Okay. He kind of like ruffles his feathers, like tucks his head into his shoulders, and kind of like gently walks down the little walks down the little steps leading down below. The wagon kind of clunking behind him.
There we go. That's a good bird.
Quark likes warm. Quark likes food. Okay.
Are you going to share that with us?
Did you say yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. With that, you guys pass over the 1,300 gold, or Sorry, was it the 900? Is that what you said on the 900? Yes, the 900
Yeah,
gold.
the 900.
Whatever you guys are going to do. Is there anything you guys are doing last minute before he closes the bays and like you guys set off? Okay. Bays close. Quark is still like very, very shaky. Like you could hear his feathers like literally shaking in the dark, like just ruffling in and of itself. So if anybody has any like light or anything that they can cast to kind of illuminate the bay butt down below, find the lanterns and light it up. It calms him down. But thanks to Drew's animal handling. We have Ellie and Maddie, and who else stayed above?
Me.
And Drew. You three stayed above. You immediately begin going to work, like pretending to be crew. You're tying off knots, and just like you are doing your best to act at your most like sailorific interpretation. It takes only a couple of minutes for Albert Alexander to pull the paddle boat back, and immediately begins sailing forward. It makes his way out of the dock. Like I said, there are dozens upon dozens of ship here. The docks of Opus Day are massive, just like the city itself is massive. It actually takes a good hours, like 30, 45 minutes for him to make his way forward. There's a line of ships waiting to get out. Many of them are being turned away and asked to turn into the dock for investigations and inspections. Makes his way forward. He immediately pulls up to the blockade. He comes out of his captain's nest where his wheel is, and he comes out and he begins talking to several of the soldiers. A couple of you can hear, it's like they're talking about the lockdown, the investigation that's going on. Albert Alexander holds up a small medallion and presents it to the rest of the guards. They immediately nod, and you are allowed to pass through without issue. Those of you that were here with Albert Alexander before, you notice you don't actually see the medallion, but several of you remember him holding up something similar before to pass through several guard checkpoints in the Opus Day district. As soon as he presented it, they let him pass without an issue, and he's doing the same thing here. But with that, you guys pass the massive military blockade. Several of these massive, like iron swinging gates open up into the greater Northern River alignment that is leading north out of the city. And you begin paddling your way north and finding your way through the various rivers and aligning, and you begin heading north to the Dukedom of Marzenstein. Your first stop will actually be the township of Sandholm. Albert Alexander goes into like talking to several of you on deck that is actually all the farther that he is willing to take you. Due to the situation back there and everything else is going on, he will only take you as far as Sandholm, which is the township, as I said, in Marzenstein. You'll have to make your way on foot from there with your wagon.
So,
Above the table, Maddie, where was Norm from? Norm the Naked?
I can't remember when they wrote that back for Drum. Do you remember, Marshall, where they said?
Sandholm.
When he did Sandholm, yeah.
Not necessarily that he was from Sandholm, but the last place that he was known to have been in was Sandholm.
okay, so as we're getting off the ship, are we off? He said we
No,
have to stop here.
You have 3 days worth of travel on the vessel
Oh.
before you even get to Sandholm.
Oh, got it. I was like, wow, that was a fast trip.
No, you have a travel check. It's like normally by foot and by wagon, it takes you approximately 9 days to go from the capital to the first township of a dukedom. But you guys chose to travel by riverboat, which cuts everything by a third. You have 3 days to get to Sandholm. So, with that, honestly, I think I'm going to go ahead and just ask for everybody's the travel check. It's like, let's go ahead and get that knocked out of the way. It's been a long time since we've done one.
As well as a sidebar note, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and use magical tinkering to go ahead and imbue the bridle that we use on Quark to give off a 5-foot radius of light. Kind of like
So, what are you doing to his bridle? You're putting what on
I'm
it?
just using magical tinkering, which allows me to imbue a tiny non-magical object with a magical property of your choice, and it can give it a 5-foot radius of light.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So you're just like giving
To
him a
kinda
soft,
give him
gentle
that
light
light.
around.
Yep.
Okay. Hell yes. I'm gonna actually mark that down. Quark definitely makes a notice of this. I'm gonna say you go ahead and use the previous animal handling check during this. He doesn't give you any issues, but yeah, you apply a gentle nightlight to his barding and harness, so to speak, and yeah, doesn't bother him in the slightest. He can sleep through gentle light. It actually calms him quite a bit.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right.
So what do our travel checks
Goodness.
mean?
Well,
Ooh, we haven't done one of those in forever. We
haven't-
should still have it written down in
We
our
do,
group chat.
looking for it.
Well, so
Where we have not
travel as well.
We also, so I pinned it. We have not updated it since we lost Drum. But what we had was Drum being the handler, Argus is the cook, Drew and Xena were scouts. Maddie and Malin were the hunters. And then we had Smalls and Monroe on lookout.
Given that you guys are on a ship and you guys are not, actually like trudging anything, you no longer need you don't need a wagoneer. You don't need somebody to handle the wagon. Usually, like Angus and Ingus were handling that on all you guys' like previous trips. They're no longer with you, so you will need a wagoneer moving forward. You guys already established that Smalls was really good at that. He has the wagon training, so I would say that he sticks with that. But at this time, because you're on a boat, it's not necessary. But you'll need an animal handler. Scouts, not necessary because you're on a boat. You could have somebody up at a crow's nest keeping watch, but they could also double up as one of the lookouts, basically. Hunters gatherers, you guys are on a ship, on a riverboat, so it's like you're not going to stop and go hunting on the riverside, but you can fish off the edge. Obviously, you still have your cook, and you still need a couple of lookouts. So, what do you all want to do?
I would like to roll a 24 for cooking.
Beautiful. No problem there.
I will volunteer for lookout.
Okay.
I don't remember what I roll for that, but can I roll at advantage because I can see in perfect darkness?
It's perception or stealth. You can see in like perfect darkness.
I can see through magical darkness and I can see through regular darkness.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'll definitely give you advantage on one of your rolls.
Yeah.
I can
you
also
said
do
perception or
lookout.
stealth?
Okay, so we have Quinn and Drew. You said you're going to be a lookout?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna hunt, and I have my pole of angling from turn my quarterstaff into, if that helps at all.
That gives you advantage.
Hell yeah, it does. Let's do this.
So for lookouts, it's either perception or stealth. For your hunters or gatherers, in this term fishing, it's either survival, nature, or stealth. Your choice.
Nat 20 on perception for lookout. So
Beautiful.
26.
Okay.
Oh, good, because I got a 13.
Okay. Balances the two out.
I can also do Hunter.
So we have two. We have Maddie and Malin being fishermen.
Yeah, 17 for fishing.
Okay.
Let me roll mine real quick. 18.
Too bad. 17 and 18. Who's taking care of Quark?
Okay, so if we're on deck, we're not down there, right? So is that the whole time, or is it just
This is 3 days worth of travel. You can move around. It's like this is your job for 3 days. What do you want to do?
I have no idea.
I don't think we have anybody with animal handling still.
Well,
So-
I have speak with animals, but
Okay.
Well, it gives us advantage with Quark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Mark also has Mask of the Beast, which gives him speak with animals 3 times a day.
Yep.
Okay, so where does that leave me?
I think what is your wisdom check?
My
Okay. Next to animal handling, what do you have? A +2, +3?
oh, it just says use.
Oh, you're on the
wait,
mobile app. Hold up.
yeah, because it's +0. It's just that I can do it.
You are not
Uh,
proficient.
No, I am not proficient.
Can they do things that they're not proficient at? I don't.
Yeah, I'll allow it. It's like, especially if they have means of doing advantage, it's not a problem.
Well, I mean, I have a real high sleight of hand, but
That's not going to help you with animal handling.
no, but I mean, just in general, I'm like, what can Ellie do?
Yeah, I would roll animal handling at advantage using the speak with animals. I think that's the best option.
All right, so roll twice.
Mm-hmm. Take the higher of the two.
Uh, 18. Woohoo!
Nice. Okay. Not too shabby. On an 18, that is definitely a success. It is not a critical success. So Quark still requires the same amount of rations that he would in order to eat his regular day, which is 5 per day. So, let's calculate how many rations we get from the hunting and stuff first. For the fish, he is an omnivore, so he does eat fish and everything else. Maddie and Malin, you both got below 20 but above a 10, so you have successes but not critical successes. So roll a d6 for the number of rations that you bring back to camp.
I got a 6.
6, not too shabby.
Good fishing cap.
I got a 3.
3, so 9 rations altogether for this travel check. Like I said, Quark requires 5 rations per day to keep him fully fed. Do you guys commit those 9 to him?
I got the rations from before still for him, so I can take 5 for mine, and we can use the rations for everybody else.
Okay. So either way, from your total rations, you're going to need to subtract 15 for Quark, and then it's 1 ration for each of you for the 3 days of travel. So
Yeah,
8 of you.
Yeah, I think I have the one specifically given to us for Quark. I think Malin has the rest, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll take 5.
I would say the one that's specifically for Quark was used while he was housed at the warehouse.
Oh, okay, just kidding.
Because you guys had to feed him it for a day there.
She did give us 2 days worth.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll allow it.
How many would we use for him for the 3 days?
Still need 15 total, but if we had a day left, that would leave us with 10 days left. 10 total rations.
Yeah. Well, because I'm carrying 20 currently, and I don't eat, so.
Same.
Useful.
Yeah, so everybody gets 10 rations from what I purchased. And then Drew and Argus are carrying 10 extra. So for those of you, if you haven't already marked the 10, you could do that now and then subtract the 3.
Got it.
If it makes it easier, you guys can also keep like a total number of rations in the wagon. You can store them without hauling them on your persons, as long as you're near the wagon.
Yeah, it'll probably be easier that way.
We're going to have to develop a portable black hole that goes from the wagon to like a pocket.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
I would say this is definitely a chat for you guys to have like out of game. Like start figuring out how you're going to manage you guys' rations, because you're on your own now. It's like Angus and Ingus are no longer with you. This is all on you guys. This is your bird. This is your wagon. This is all your stuff.
Okay, let's for now we'll subtract the 3. We'll use 5 and 5 from Argus and Drew to cover the 10, so they'll stay with the 15 left, and then everyone else subtract 3.
Yep.
Okay. Got
And
it.
then we'll do wagon management. I'll see if I can coordinate that.
Cool. All right. All right. Are we all set with rations and travel checks? For now?
Yep, we're good for now.
Okay. With that, I'm actually going to move into some other stuff. Like here, you guys are going to have some downtime. Like I said, it's 3 days worth of travel between the capital of Triniborg to Sandholm. You guys have 3 days, and you're not having to like trudge anything on the roads or anything like that. You're just kind of chilling with Albert Alexander on the Splinters on Me fingers. So you can fish, you can just kind of hang out, just do whatever you need to bide your time. You're helping out with various things on the ship, keeping things just trudging along. But I will say, is there anything you guys remember specifically? I'm going to put this out there to the team that this is this wagon that you guys purchased and partnered up with Angus and Ingus on. It is a similar design, make and model, and everything to the wagons that they have. And you're all fully aware that the wagons that Angus and Ingus operate on have some rather unique potential to them, have some unique abilities. Is there anybody that during this 3 days wants to take a stab at figuring out and seeing if your wagon's much the same?
Absolutely.
Cool.
You guys would have to inform Quinn that there might be something up with it, because she wouldn't know otherwise. But I'm not really useful in other aspects, so it totally could devote my time to figuring it out.
I feel your pain. I'm not that kind of artificer.
I'd say just by like the rough tinkering and stuff like that and going over it, you guys, I need somebody to either roll. I need somebody to roll me an investigation and an arcana. You can do one or the other, or you can do both. It's like it doesn't have to be the same person, but the DC is going to be 15. This is, you got 3 days, so you guys want to take a stab at trying to figure something out? I just need to know who's going to do what.
I have good arcana.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind telling Quinn about it to pique the interest and maybe use hers.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have great arcana or investigation, but I'll totally. Quinn's totally got this. If we have 3 days, then yeah, I have. So for this, Marshall, I will go ahead and let you know what I am doing ahead of time. I will use subtle spell and I will use guidance. So it doesn't appear that I'm using a spell at all.
Okay.
But I will use it for guidance for this particular.
Okay. That gives you a D4, right?
Yep, it gives me a D4, and it doesn't alert people that I can use magic because I'm still very untrusting of what's going on.
Okay. So we got Quinn, who's going to do the investigation check, and we got Ellie, who's going to do the arcana check. Is there anything anybody has? Does anybody else have proficiency? They want to like offer help? Anything going on?
I do not, unfortunately.
Okay.
Have an emerald pen to take notes that nobody can read.
Not going to give you any help here.
I'm gonna go ahead and actually give the help action with my proficiency in investigation.
Okay. Nice.
I may not be curious, but I am something made out of arcanic metal, so I can be
I
used
definitely
without
say you
some
could give her
work.
the help action. Cool. So Quinn, you are rolling with an additional with guidance for a D4, and you were also rolling at advantage. Is anybody available to give any arcana help to Ellie? Okay. Let's go ahead and make these rolls then. Your guys are both aiming for a DC 15.
Oh shit! It rolled over. It was a nat 20, but rolled. So I only got 12.
12. Okay.
Rolling at advantage, I got 22.
22. Not too shabby. Ellie, don't feel too disheartened. It's like you couldn't figure it out this time, but you feel like you're gonna get like you'll have more shots. It's like you're just gonna need more time. It's like every travel check, you can take another stab at trying to figure out what exactly this puzzle is. Okay.
Sure.
Or anybody else that has Arcana can lend a hand or lend guidance or whatever it is to try to reveal what this is. Quinn.
Could actually help both
Go ahead.
of them. I have proficiency.
Can only
in
offer.
spells. Yeah.
Yeah, you can only offer help action one time during a travel check.
I figured it.
So
out.
next travel check, if you want to offer Arcana help to Ellie, you absolutely can. So with that, with the investigation, Quinn, for you, as you're going through the wagon over the next couple of days, you reveal that there's actually like this multi-wheel turn puzzle lock. It's like a wheel within a wheel within a wheel within a wheel. As you're going through it, you realize that this is actually a lock that seems to release some kind of mechanism within the wagon that possibly has the potential to make it even larger. It opens up new compartments. It could like expand the wagon, make it go from right now essentially you're at a small wagon. You get the impression that if you work on this thing over, it's going to take some time. This is a pretty complex mechanism, but you could probably turn this into a medium wagon, and then even over time, maybe even a large wagon.
Absolutely fascinating.
So if you find the appropriate switches in the wheel lock, basically every travel check. So if we go from, once we get to Sandholm, and then we move on to the next leg, and then the next leg, you can make a travel, each time we do a travel check for 3 days or whatever it might be, you can take another stab at unlocking this. There are what you can though on that what you did roll, there's 3 levels per lock. So it's either going to take a very strong investigation or sleight of hand check to figure these things out. And I will say this on that roll that you got, because you beat it by 5, you realize that proficiency with Tinkers or Thieves' Tools is probably going to give you advantage on this.
Perfect. Okay.
I could post the rules and stuff like that later if anybody's curious. Okay.
Ellie has really good sleight of hand.
Might be a pretty good one to figure out the puzzle there.
Yeah.
But you're also probably one of the few that has Arcana that figure out what's going on with the other stuff.
Shiza.
So keep it in mind for next travel check if you want to figure out. There's technically two different things going on with these wagons, maybe. So, all right. I will say this: over the next coming days, I would say check over any kind of like unidentified items or anything that you got going on, anything you haven't quite figured out with. Like Argus, you gonna do anything with that Far Realm shard that you got? You working on anything else? Anything that you had some projects and stuff in the pipeline. Drew, keep in mind, is there anything that you want to be doing with spells, or perhaps that giant bug leg that you took back when you guys defeated the giant bug after Father Lambright? Ellie, be thinking about anything that you want to do with your spells? Do you want to be practicing your pan flute, or checking out any of the items that you have? Malin, anything with your abilities, your reaching out, or perhaps also with the insect mandible that you took? You and Drew both took a mandible. Maddie, want to be checking out anything with that amulet that you found? Or perhaps figuring out what you want to do with those extra Hellfire weapons you got laying around? Maybe filling out some more of that paperwork that you owe to the Trimarch Defense Corps? See if there's anything else that you still owe to kind of shore you guys up professionally? Quinn, anything you want to do with your spells? That new armor that you won? Maybe that thermal cube that you have? And then Smalls. Smalls still has Drum's shield and his battle axe. That robe of useful items. He also still has that set of psychedelic mushrooms y'all got back too. And he also still has that rat cloak that you all haven't done anything with in a while. Beyond that, though, is there anything anybody wants to do or say in this exact moment before we wrap up for the session?
Well, I would like to ask Dion some questions with Speak with the Dead, but we don't need to do that in game, right? We could do that later.
Yeah, we could do that out. That's fine if it's just for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
So Ellie wants to check out the primer
Okay.
for additional spells because she gets one
Mhm.
a day, right? It's one a day.
It's one per long rest. You could basically prep a spell and have it ready in that book.
Okay.
So you can change it. You can change it at a long rest if you want to. Otherwise, it's just that one spell that you have prepped inside of the book.
Okay.
It's from, I believe, any cleric, wizard. It's from any of those spell lists up to whatever level it is.
Yeah. So
Right.
would I have to do that like now while we're because I don't have any prepped right now.
You would need to decide what spell you have prepped in there, and then let me know what it is.
Got it.
So that way you're not deciding in the moment.
Yeah. I almost did that earlier, but I was like, dang it, I can't.
Quinn has the ability to create a spell scroll under a long rest, so I'm probably going to do that. So I'll have one prep for tomorrow. I don't know what it'll be yet, but I'll do that. But in the meantime, though, at night, I would like to take the thermal cube and kind of set the temperature so it's slightly warmer to Quark, so he's like a little bit warmer than he would be when he's below deck at night.
Beautiful. I am taking the note that you guys have added a nightlight to Quark, and you are using the thermal cube to keep him warm.
Can I also practice using my new arm weapons?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me 3 attacks.
Okay.
Just to hit. Don't worry about damage.
Do you want them like in the app?
In the app, yep. These are anything having to do with attacks and combat has to be in the app.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I just wanted to double check.
You're good.
And it would be with the Revenant one, right?
Yes.
Okay. First one is a nat 20 for a total of 27. Second one is a 15.
Okay.
And then the third one is a 17.
All right. I will make note of the nat 20, and we will address that in the coming sessions.
Okay.
So,
Nat 20 Nat 20 is very good, though. By the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So can Ellie put on the bracers of defense just to up her armor class?
Yeah, absolutely. It just takes you an hour to attune to something like that, so you're all set.
Okay.
Just make sure that they are equipped and they are attuned in your character sheet in the app.
Yeah, they are. Those are the only ones.
Yep. Yeah, just keep that in mind for the future, guys. Unless I tell you something specific about an item, like there's certain items I'm not going to require you to attune to because they don't do anything too radically crazy. But yes, and to do that, it either takes a long rest or an hour to attune to a magical item like that. I will tell you this, if you get into certain specific strengths of a magic weapon, like a legendary item eventually, there is a certain roll mechanic that comes into that in order for it to accept you. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Got it.
But anything up to like epic and stuff like that, relatively easy. You're good. You just need time and focus, and you can attune to it. But it cannot be done in the moment.
Right. That's why I'm saying right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got time. On the ship, you're good. All right. Is there anything anybody wants to do before we wrap up for the night? Pretty chill end to the session.
Yeah, could I talk to Argus about the mandible? And like tell him
Absolutely.
about the weapon that I saw?
Absolutely.
Is Argus with us?
August?
Oh, duh. I was thinking
Angus.
Angus. Sorry,
Yes,
Argus.
I
Angus.
also own my
Like,
own
wait, what?
workshop on several accidental typos of the DM. It's fine though. Don't worry
I'm
about it.
sorry. It's like,
Yeah. Is that a conversation you want to have, or do you just want to tell him about the weapon?
I don't know. Devin, I'll leave that up to you. Do you want to have a conversation about the bug thing, or? Because I was just gonna like talk to you about the weapon, because you have some. I'm losing words.
Yeah.
You have
Some
some making stuff
experience.
abilities.
Yes, I have some capacities of making things. To an extent. Much more armory based, but pretty sure I could bounce enough information I learned from the 30 minutes of watching Mord play with his gun to figure out what you're trying to do with your mandible there.
Yeah.
An uncivilized weapon from an uncivilized time you make.
Wow, rude. That's my sister's weapon.
And how long ago was it a weapon?
Well, I don't. This one was never a weapon. I pulled this one off the bug.
Ah, yes. So above table. That was like the bug was way back when, right?
Technically, it's only been like 2 days, 3 days.
Different bugs. We've had a lot of bugs.
I don't know how old I am. I don't know how old I am. I don't know how long ago that was.
Like timeline wise, you guys got out of the forest of Sylvaden, and then it was like a day later, day and a half, give or take, that Quinn was kidnapped. You found her. You were able to rescue her basically that night, with like less than 12 hours later. Then you had a full day of like prep and like going around buying stuff, getting your shit together. Then you had the party the next night. And then you woke up the next morning to realize that, hey, everybody after the party got fucking slaughtered. And then you have escaped the city of the capital of Trinaborg. And you are now approximately a day out on the water heading towards Sandholm. So all the events of all the past sessions have taken place in less than a week.
It's
been busy.
Like 72 hours. Okay. The spacing from all the party episodes really disoriented my time. Okay.
Game-wise, it's only been less than a week.
Yeah. Quinn's nails have not come back yet.
Magical healing. Duh.
Fair.
All right. And with that all, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the session. Pretty chill, a quiet ending to the session for the first time in a long time. Went through a lot. You guys are back on the road, though. You have gotten out of Trinaborg. You are back on track to finish your Rule of 3, heading north into the new arc, the Marsenstein arc, into a whole new dukedom that many of you have never been to before. So, we'll see where this leads us. A lot of interesting backstories to be had here, a lot of potential side things to be going on here. So, I look forward to seeing what you all do with the offerings that are Trinaborg. Or, sorry, that are Marsenstein.
Wow, wow, wow.
Cool.
It shall be fun.
I think we all learned who should and should not talk to the cops, and who is all going to be in the cell next to us, or definitely not.
So the next time the cops come for us, we're locking Maddie away.
Man, fuck that guy.
And Quinn!
You should not do that.
Just preemptively put him in cuffs. Be like,
Quinn and Maddie should never have been part of that conversation. We were gone. Like, you brought that upon yourself by bringing the investigator
Right in front of the
directly to
door.
us. We weren't in front of the door. We were in the crowd.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that you were in front of the door.
Also, Quinn did amazingly. Like,
yes,
John, we're gonna
played
fight.
Quinn's whole thing
well.